Another classic. When I say rattle and roll, your squad get cut down. Sweat, this is shut down, running a touchdown. Chuck Kelly, I believe I can fly. What? Another one bites the dust. True MC, I need another mic to crush. To the top, I'm taking it. I'm breaking it. When he said that it can't be done, to become number one.
We're in the Limestone City today for the 59th edition of the Vanier Cup. The best youth sports football team in the nation will be crowned inside Richardson Stadium on the grounds of Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. 6'5" quarterback, Montreal, Quebec native Arnaud Desjardins leads the Laval Rouge, a program that owns 11 national titles. His counterpart, 6'6", Taylor Elgersma from London, Ontario, this year's Heck Crichton winner, who leads the Laurier Golden Hawks. It's the national title game, the Vanier Cup, and it's right here on CBC Sports. Hello, Canada, and welcome inside our CBC Sports studio. Glad to have you along for this incredible game, the Vanier Cup. Andy Petrillo alongside two former U Sports football players. Justin Dunk, former quarterback with the Guelph Griffins, University of Guelph, two-time Grey Cup champion, 1989 Vanier Cup winner with the Western Mustangs. That is Mr. Dwayne Ford. Let's show you how these two teams got to this championship game. In the UTEC Bowl, Laurier handed the Bishops Gators from the University of Sherbrooke, Quebec, a 48-24 loss. The Golden Hawks, through the regular season and playoffs, are now a perfect 10-0. Elgersma completed 30 of 34 passes, threw for 452 yards. The Mitchell Bowl, a little tighter between Laval and the Regina Rams with a minute 19 left. Desjardins capped an 85-yard drive with a TD pass to Isaac Gaillardes for the 17-14 win. Now, there's already some bad blood between these two teams, guys, because when they arrived at the stadium this morning, were doing their walkthrough before warm-ups, they were already jarring at each other. Some players even getting physical. You can see Laurier in purple walking by. Justin, something was said that Laval did not like as they're now rushing towards them.
Indeed, our sources on the ground tell us that Taylor Elgersma was in the middle of this, and that's no surprise. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, as you'll see today in the Vanier Cup.
Yeah, and you have to wonder a little bit, given the big game. Obviously, there are some emotions that are very genuine, some emotions that may be a little contrived, trying to get teammates fired up.
Ooh, little gamesmanship? I'm all for that. Let's talk about Elgersma awarded the Heck Crichton Award. That was on Thursday night for the best football player in U Sports in Canada. What makes him so special?
It's his deep ball, and it's so special that NFL teams are calling about this guy, getting background information on Taylor Elgersma, and you'll see it on display in this highlight pack. He spots it with perfection. Michael Falds called him the Josh Allen, the Joe Burrow, the Justin Herbert of Canadian university football because he's that good. And oh, by the way, in the offseason, he trained with Drake May, who's a starting quarterback for the New England Patriots right now, and Bo Nix, who's with the Denver Broncos, both first-round picks. So that's the type of talent this guy has.
Yeah, and the thing that stands out to me, Justin, I love the Josh Allen comparison at the OUA level, right? This is a big guy with a strong arm, but he can also run, and he'll drop his shoulder on some people too, which I love.
Not afraid to do that. And you know what? They've outscored their opponents 128-76 in the 3 playoff games that they have played so far. Now, Laurier head coach Michael Falds, former quarterback with the Western Mustangs, actually lost in a Vanier Cup to Laval. Here he is with our Signa Butler.
Coach, your first trip back to the Vanier Cup since 2005 when this team Laurier won it. How important is it for your program to be here at the national stage?
Yeah, it's important. You know, I'm excited for our coaches, excited for our student athletes and players, excited for the Laurier community. As you mentioned, it's been 19 years, and you can see in Kingston the last couple of days a sea of purple and gold. So everyone's excited, past alumni, the community of Kitchener-Waterloo, and ultimately our players.
You're facing a football factory in Laval today. What's it going to take to beat them and their defense?
Yeah, I have to say that we get to play Laval. Laval has to play us, right? They haven't seen us before, and our group is confident. So we respect the heck out of Laval. They've won this many Vanier Cups thus far, and they're the winningest program in the history of U Sports. But this is our time, and our boys are excited.
Appreciate this.
Thank you.
Laurier, great offense. Laval, great defense. Regular season, they went 7-1, and they allowed the fewest points against, 106. So let's look at two of their defensive linemen in Yohan Mienge and Thomas Gosselin.
Yeah, and these two guys are monsters, right? Over 600 pounds of beef in the middle of that defensive line. They're a force, and particularly good against the run. And this really showed up, I thought, in the Regina game, where you see Mienge, 26 years old, from France, a global player, and Gosselin, just 20 years old in his first year, all conference, all Canadian, both of them constantly moving blockers backwards, wreaking havoc in the opposing backfield. A number of tackles, whether for loss, for no gain, maybe for 1 or 2 yards. And why it's going to be so important for them today against Wilfird Laurier is they need the defensive line to be particularly strong in stopping the run so that the other resources on defense, i.e. the linebackers and DBs, can focus on preventing big pass plays.
And also on passing downs, those two big fellas, if they get after Elgersma, who likes to pass from the pocket, that can be a real game changer here to put him out on the edge where he's not as comfortable.
Mienge, by the way, can I say former Taekwondo specialist, 2014 Youth Olympics Games champion, and a World Junior bronze medalist. And he's that big, that is somebody you don't want to mess with. Let's hear from the two gentlemen who are going to be calling the championship game today. That would be Mark Lee, who's along, former wide receiver with the University of Waterloo, Deshaun Stevens.
Thank you, Andy. Arnaud Desjardins was the RSEQ MVP this season. He had a tremendous season. But this quarterback who won the Vanier Cup just 2 years ago had to earn his job back in training camp after a subpar season last year.
Mark, in the eyes of many, Arnaud Desjardins fell off. He had to humble himself a little bit. In 2023, he threw for a mild 1,700 passing yards and 8 interceptions. Many people thought he wasn't going to be the starter entering 2024. And what did he do? He switched it up. This season, he came back, threw for 2,373 passing yards in the regular season, as well as 17 touchdowns, only 1 interception. But most importantly, he became the leader that this team needed him to become.
And Desjardins keyed his comeback by building a prolific connection with Olivier Coul, the #1 receiver in the RSEQ.
Number 81, Olivier Coul, they call him the artist. At 5'9", he is as crafty as they come, and he's becoming one of the greatest receivers in Laval program history. This season, in the regular season, he had 52 receptions, 721 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, en route to being named an All-Canadian as well.
Olivier Coul, a young man whose last name aptly describes his composure, and that of his quarterback, who was the comeback player of the year for Laval. Andy?
Well, you know who else is cool? That would be Laval head coach Glenn Constantin, who has been the head coach for the program for all of their 11 Vanier Cup titles. Here he is with Signa Butler.
Coach, you're going for your 12th Vanier Cup today in program history, but you've got about half your roster first and second year players. I'm wondering what counsel you give to them as a guy who's nice and calm like yourself in a championship game.
Well, I just told, don't make the game bigger than it is. It's 65 yards, 65 yards wide, 110 long, and just play within the lines. Don't let the game, get bigger than it is, and just make sure they have fun and fly around.
Facing a quick strike offense in Laurier today, what's the formula to beating them?
Oh, yeah, I think we got to make them earn everything they get. Just give them a long field and make sure that we don't give up big plays and ball control and offense.
Appreciate this.
Thank you.
Well, definitely two heavy hitters in these teams going up against each other. And as we get back to Laurier, a great quarterback needs a great receiver. And for Elgersma, that appears to be Ryan Hughes.
It has been definitely in the postseason because, Andy, of a back injury to Raiden Thorne, who's a high-level receiver himself. Hughes gets into the lineup in the postseason and makes an immediate impact. This guy can hit you over the top, but he's also got a great connection with Elgersma underneath. Look at him. Move outside the pocket. Hughes sees it, adjusts his route, comes across, catches it for a touchdown. He has put up a ton of yardage in the playoffs, stepped up in prime time with Elgersma during the regular season in 8 games. Didn't play very much. Had just 3 catches for 53 yards. In the postseason, he's well over 300 yards, over 100 per game. Definitely a game changer potential in this Vanier Cup.
All right, well, how about that? When a door opens, you've got to take it, and that's exactly what Ryan Hughes has done in the postseason. And by the way, if that walkthrough is any indication of what we can expect today, we'll be in for quite an emotional game. Laval looking for their second title in 3 years. Laurier, their first title since 2005. It's the last football game to be played in Canada. It's the U Sport national title. It's the Laurier Golden Hawks versus the Laval Rouge. In Kingston, Ontario, taking in the action on the sideline is Signa Butler. Signa.
Well, we have definitely November football weather today. After 3 days of rain, it is a crisp 3 degrees. Neutral winds in the sky, a little bit of swirling in Richardson Stadium, but boy, do we have the fans. We got the Wilfird Golden Hawks behind me, Wilfird Laurier Golden Hawks. On the other side, we got the Laval Rouge. The fans are in full effect for these two teams. Well, Laurier, they're undefeated on the season. Their coach's motto to go 1-0. They go 1-0 today. It's the Vanier Cup. And as for Laval, they're battle-tested. Had to go through Montreal, the defending champions. Had to go through Regina last week. It's going to be a fantastic football game and about 8,000 fans on hand today as we send it back to you, Andy.
Yeah, hearing it's a sellout crowd. You got the cheerleaders behind you and everything as well. Going to be a great atmosphere. And Elgersma isn't one, by the way, the quarterback for Laurier, to hold back his emotions. And his head coach doesn't want him to, especially since they keep on winning.
He's very emotional, but you know what? He actually plays his best when he is. So I would try to reel it back in if it was affecting his play. But when the ball is snapped, he is the calmest I've ever seen. It's in between plays. It's before the game. It's at halftime that he gets really riled up.
This was earlier this morning. Elgersma letting it all out, perhaps just getting started, building up his energy. Wait, there's got to be one more, right? One more. Is he going to let it out? Yeah, he is. All right, someone else on the panel, by the way, gave into his feelings when he was playing. Let's go back to 2009. Guelph versus Western. Our guy, Justin, the quarterback. What'd you do after this play, my friend?
You know, big homecoming crowd, over 10,000 people. You score a touchdown to go up over your rival, Western. Yes, Dwayne, that's right. And then you get excited. You might say a four-letter word into the camera. But I think you have to keep those emotions in check during the play, as Michael Foltz said.
Yeah, what are you expecting today?
I think he's going to control his emotions. That's going to be the key. Control what you can control. That's one of those things.
All right, well, we love this. Here we go. It's the Vanier Cup between the two best U Sports football teams in Canada. Mark Lee, Deshaun Stevens with the call.
Laurier and Laval have never met in the Vanier Cup until today. The only unbeaten team in the country, the Golden Hawks, face a team they've never beaten, the mighty Rouge, in the 59th Vanier Cup from Richardson Stadium in Kingston on the breezy shores of Lake Ontario. Glenn Constantine has won a record 11 Vanier Cups, 1 as a defensive coordinator and 10 as the head coach of the Laval Rouge. Since 1999, his team has been a fixture in the championship game. Michael Foltz makes his first appearance in the Vanier Cup as a head coach, guiding the unbeaten Golden Hawks to the title game. He's faced Laval twice in his career, once as the star quarterback of the Mustangs, losing in 2008 to Laval in the Vanier Cup, and then in 2016 losing again as head coach to Laval in the UTEC Bowl. Felipe Fortese will kick off. Laval won the toss, elected to defer, and it will be Ethan Jordan at his own 12-yard line, getting outside, has a seam, and the first-team All-Canadian is rocked after a short return of about 10 yards on the play. Here comes Taylor Elgersma, the Heck Crichton winner as the most outstanding player in U Sports football this year, led the country in passing, 3,304 yards during the regular season, 32 touchdown passes in 11 games, regular season and playoffs combined. He has a potent offense. The 6'6" pivot for Laurier goes to work on the opening play of this championship game. Elgersma with play action. He'll outlet the pass to Raiden Thorne, and Thorne, returning to the lineup after missing 2 games with a back injury, has a gain of almost 10 yards, and there's our first flag on the play in the opening play of this offensive series.
Trying to get the ball in Raiden Thorne's hands early. Take a look at this starting offense. Of course, we have the Heck Crichton Award winner Taylor Elgersma and this electric passing attack. Ethan Jordan, the nation's leading receiver. Leomi Ajitaleo, Ryan Hughes, who's had an amazing playoff run so far, and a big offensive line up front.
Objectional conduct. Laurier, number 18. Second down.
Kevin Baird, the top official in the OUA this year, refereeing proceedings here at this Vanier Cup. and calls an objectionable conduct penalty. And so it's second down and 10 to go as they go right back to the 29-yard line. Second and long now for this vaunted Laurier offense. But they've never faced a defense as good as Laval's. Algersma will drop back, has time, loading the ball up, looking deep for Jordan, and it's just outside his reach. Ethan Jordan, who led the country with 1,000 yards receiving this year, just missing on that deep corner route.
And Laval set pressure off the ledge. They rushed 5. Ethan Jordan ran the corner route. He had the safety beat, Delale beat. And of course, you see right there, Taylor Algersma was able to put the ball in a good spot. Ethan Jordan not able to get their incomplete pass.
Dawson Hodge, an end-over-end punt taken by Guillaume Cochon at his own 48-yard line. Not much room to move there. A short return for Laval's leader on all-purpose yards. And it's first and 10 Laval now on their own 53-yard line. So great field position to get this offensive series underway.
And if you're Laval, that's what you want. Right now they have Arnaud Desjardins coming into the game. Right there, their RSCQ MVP, second-team All-Canadian. He had an amazing season, Mark. Takes care of the ball. Only 1 interception this season. 17 passing touchdowns. We're going to get a good look at this offense to start off the game with pretty good field possession off the return by Guillaume Cochon.
It's a ball control offense as the Rouge are first and 10 at their 53. Desjardins, play action. He'll get it across the middle. Wide open is Emerick Boutin. Boutin breaks the tackle, and he's down to the 25. What an opener for Laval.
That's what you want if you're the Laval Rouge. Or on that play, Emerick Boutin came out of the slot, ran the post over the middle of the field, and there was a hole right there in the zone. Arnaud Desjardins finds Boutin. He's able to break one tackle, find the first down.
Laval stays in no huddle. The ball's away again. This time it's Isaac Desjardins, and Desjardins loses the football, then back on it quickly. Oh, that was close, right at the first down marker, and he will have another Laval first down.
And the Laval defense or the Laval offense is rolling no huddle on that play. You can see right there Arnaud Desjardins talking to his offense, no huddle.
Laval moving the ball with consecutive first downs. Now on the 15 of Laurier, low snap. Desjardins gets it to the flats. Mathieu makes the catch, but he's filled quickly for a short gain on the play. Malik Cote, the boundary cornerback, on the tackle for Laurier.
Right there, Mathieu came out of the backfield, leaks out to the flats. And Arnaud Desjardins finds Malik Cote, or finds Mathieu on Malik Cote's side, able to pick up a few yards. Second down and around 7 yards to go, but this Laval offense is rolling.
Second down in the red zone for the Rouge. Lots of motion. Cool goes to the wide side. Time, it's outletted back to Waugh. He's surrounded and will go nowhere. Jesse Wilkins-Flaherty leading the way in a host of Laurier tacklers to stop this drive in its tracks and force the Rouge into a field goal position. 3rd and 6.
Laurier's defense was really tested on that play. Their secondary was able to settle down, take away all options for Arnaud Desjardins. The pocket broke down, and Arnaud Desjardins was able to get the ball into Mathieu. Family comes with Felice Rocher, and of course, shut down, and it's going to be looking like a field goal right here.
Forteza will attempt this field goal from the last hash marks from the 18-yard line. Was good on 5 of 6 during the playoffs. Hit the upright last week in Regina. Forteza. Ball is up, kicked, and good. And so the Laval Rouge hit the scoreboard first. Driving into the Laurier red zone as Desjardins Rouge put the first points up on that 18-yard field goal. Desjardins, a picture of calm in his opening series here in Kingston. First down, Laurier at their own 35. Algersma, the back-to-back OUA MVP and this year's Het Crichton winner, at the controls on his second series of the game after a 2-and-out to start this Vanier Cup. Big crowd here, a full house at Richardson Stadium. Algersma trying to hard count this defense of Laval. Play action again. He'll call his own number. He's stuffed and takes a big hit. Ball's loose. Ball's on the ground on the field. And Cooper Hamilton recovers it for the Golden Hawks. And so Elgersma stiffened with that shot as he tried to run up the middle.
Laval's doing an amazing job on defense. If you're the Laval Rouge, or what you need on defense right now is to stop the Laurier Golden Hawks one play at a time. You know this is an explosive offense. On that play right there, Taylor Elgersma was able to see the screen. They were able to take it away. And of course, he ran, fumble, recovered by Laurier.
Lassard forcing that fumble, but Hamilton quick to get on it. 2nd and 9. Elgersma back to pass. He's under trouble. Oh, what a hellacious hit. What a sack. It's Garand Dumabila coming through and decking the Laurier quarterback. What a hit.
Wow. Wow, what a blitz up the middle. What a blitz up the middle. The DBs are in man. Take away all options. But 21 coming up the middle. Clear hole. Finds Elgersma. Takes him down immediately. Takes the offense off the field.
3rd and 16 as Dawson Hodge gets a beauty away. Pushing Couchon back inside his 25-yard line. Guillaume Couchon tries to tightrope the sideline, and he's pushed out after a return of about 5 yards on the play.
And Mark, the big question coming into this game, can Laval's defense stop that Laurier offense? They've done it back-to-back on 2 drives, and now they have the ball and an opportunity to put more points on the board and try to give more cushion to this lead early in the first quarter.
We wondered what kind of a defense Elgersma would see. Would they rush 3, drop 9, try to make him find the holes? There's the first blitz of the game, and they got a hold of the Laurier quarterback. All right, Desjardins back at the controls. Play action, throws it to the near side. It's complete by Gallardes. He'll have a first down, sitting in that zone just 10 yards downfield. And they'll move the sticks again for the 3rd first down of the game for this Laval offense, and they stay in no huddle.
No huddle. Malik Cote being targeted again by Gallardes. That's the 2nd target we've seen today with that connection.
3 receivers to the wide side, including Olivier Cool. They'll hand off to Mathieu Waugh. Waugh is tripped up as Ethan Grigorchik makes the tackle. The middle linebacker for the Golden Hawks. They'll limit that gain to 2 yards on the play.
And Mark, last week we saw Laval was struggling coming out of their own end zone. You look right here at the offense. Of course, we got Arnaud Desjardins, the 2nd team All-Canadian, Mathieu Waugh, Isaac Gallardes. The average height of this receiving core is basically 6'3", along with Olivier Cool, 5'9". Extremely talented offense. Nothing like Laurier's seen all season.
2nd and 7 for the Rouge et Or. Desjardins, lots of time out, lets it to Mathieu Waugh. Waugh with a move, cuts inside, takes a massive hit from Grigorchik, and he'll be short of the first down. But Grigorchik again in on the tackle for the Golden Hawks.
And Mark, early on, what I'm starting to notice is that Arnaud Desjardins and that offense, they are picking on the boundary side. They are picking on Malik Cote, and they're picking on Johari Hastings, testing out those 2 DBs, testing out the OUA All-Star halfback, and seeing if they're truly as good as people say they are.
So they'll be short of the first down by a yard as Forteza comes into the football game to punt. His longest this year, 55 yards. His coach says he reminds him a lot of Boris Boom Boom Beatty, the current punter for the Edmonton Elks. He's a former linebacker with a big leg, and they'll need it now. As Tayshaun Jackson is the lone returner standing back for this high towering punt. It'll bounce just inside, and what a perfectly placed punt as Jackson takes it and is knocked out of bounds after a return of 3. But there is a flag on the play, and this could be no yards.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them kick it as far away as possible from Tayshaun Jackson all afternoon. First team All-Canadian returner, 831 yards returning and 2 touchdowns this year.
Matthew Bertrand, the special teams coach for Laval.
5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty because the ball bounced on the turf. So Laurier now in their 3rd series of the game. And they'll start this drive at their own 34. This explosive offense that has lit up the OUA and the playoffs with 49 touchdowns this season. Elgersma will throw. He's in trouble again. Throws it away and knocked down in a dangerous pass Jackson Stebbings getting his hands on it as Elgersma with an ill-advised throw.
And Mark, right now, I think the biggest issue for Laurier is being able to stop that front seven. Yohan Meyange, number 99, and Thomas Gosselin, number 96, are giving problems. They're breaking through that offensive line against Taylor Elgersma, immediately taking away his line of vision and time to throw.
Meyange is a beast in the middle at 6'5", 310. 2nd and 10. Golden Hawks struggling offensively early. Elgersma throws the screen to Tanner Nelms. Nelms breaks the first tackle, head down, then swarmed by the Laval defense. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. So 3rd and 2 at their own 42. And Michael Fald sends out the punt team.
That was a smart decision by Todd Galloway on offense. You see they're blitzing, they're sending the pressure. Let's give them a screen and make them pay for it. Learn to allow them to respect the pass. Understand that we have weapons that can come out of the backfield.
So Elgersma trying to undo that pressure with the screen for that 8-yard gain. Now Dawson Hodge with a 41-yard average during the regular season will punt from his 30. Cochon will return for Laval, and he's pinned between the numbers and the sideline for another short return as Laval comes back on offense. 3-0, Rouge in the early lead.
Welcome back to the 59th Vanier Cup on CBC. Well, Coach Glenn Constantine got a big boost to his coaching staff this past year with the addition of tight ends and fullback coach Anthony Auclair. Auclair, of course, won 2 Vaniers as a player with Laval, then went on to win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. Talked to him yesterday, and he said he absolutely loves his new role. Makes him feel young, of course, and he's had a huge impact in their utility game. He's especially impressed with Emeric Boutin, who he said has that triple threat, the size, the speed, and the block, and that big one on their first drive.
Yes, it gives defenses a lot more to worry about when you've got a guy like Boutin playing anywhere from fullback to tight end to wide receiver. First down at their own 39. Desjardins gets the ball away to wide open Mathieu Waugh. And Waugh will have a first down as he picks that up in the flats and has a 14-yard gain on the play.
Already seeing how multifaceted this offense is. Mathieu Waugh, the starting running back, comes out the backfield, comes into the slot, becomes a receiver, finds him in the flats, and is able to help move the chains.
Ball now at the Laval 53 as the Rouge stay in no-huddle offense the way they've started this football game. The handoff is to Waugh, the diminutive running back, and he's wrapped up instantly as Caruso makes the first contact. The rush end from London, the 5th-year man, in his final U Sports game. So they'll hold that to a 2-yard gain, make it 2nd and 8 for the Rouge.
And this no-huddle offense that we're seeing from Laval is not really something we've seen all season. Looks like they're bringing out for the first time here today at Vanier Cup, trying to keep that defense on their toes, on their heels, uncomfortable.
2nd and long. Desjardins against a 4-man rush. It's a screen pass. Cochon makes the catch. He's upfield. He'll have the first down. Breaks the initial tackle. Stays on his feet. And finally crosses the 40-yard line. Tristan Miller managed to get him by the shins. But what a great finish by Cochon, who had 703 yards to lead the RSEQ all-purpose this year.
And Laurier was playing a flat cover 1. Johari Hastings, number 25, was over the middle by himself. Gives it to Cochon, and there's nobody there. It's just all open space. Easy first down for Cochon.
First down, Laval at the Laurier 39. Play action. Desjardins with all kinds of time. He goes back to the flats, and it's Waugh making the catch as Jesse Wilkins-Flaherty in on the tackle for Laurier in a short gain of about 2 on the play. Great coverage by the Golden Hawks.
Yep, that big offensive line was doing their job of giving Arnaud Desjardins time. But yes, that secondary took away all options downfield, forcing Arnaud Desjardins to go to his check down. And Wilkins-Flaherty is able to clean up like he's been doing early on in this game. 2nd down, Laval.
So it's a gain of 5 on the play to Waugh, 2nd and 5. Rouge. marching again here on offense. Arnaud Desjardins, the statuesque quarterback, gets it away quickly. Andrew Menzies makes the catch. Cote, the boundary corner on the tackle, but another first down after that gain of 7 on the pass to Andrew Menzies, the fourth-year student in industrial design.
That's the 4th time today Malik Cote has been targeted by this Laval offense. You see Arnaud Desjardins gives it out to Menzies. It's just a 5-yard hitch. Cote is able to take him down, but at that time, already first down.
So Desjardins picking his way in another long drive here. Time of possession favored by Laval early in this game. Here comes the blitz. Desjardins escapes the pocket. He's got room if he wants to run. He will head to the sideline and scamper out of bounds at the 16-yard line of Laurier, and that will be enough for a first down. 12-yard pickup by Desjardins.
On that play, the pocket broke down extremely quickly. Arnaud Desjardins had no time to go through his reads. You see Jaden Grillis coming off the edge right there. Arnaud Desjardins takes his time, finds open space, finds the first down, and this offense is continuing to roll on this Laurier defense.
Desjardins is 10 for 10 through the air to start this football game. First down. He'll throw again. He's got some time rolling right to the boundary. And he'll get it away to Mathieu Roy. Just a little shovel pass, a gain of 4 on the play. So we'll make it 2nd and 6 inside the red zone.
Andre Butte got through the offensive line, found Desjardins. Desjardins had to roll out, took his time, stayed cool, composed, under pressure, found Mathieu on the sideline. Very short gain.
Desjardins, the quarterback, as we told you, had to fight for his starting job to start this season after a subpar 2023 season. Has been perfect so far through the air. He'll roll to the right. Lots of time. Now he'll be forced out of bounds into 10, putting pressure on the Laval quarterback. He won't not have enough for the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2 in decision time for Glenn Constantine.
They're still attacking that boundary side. Everyone's rolling out to that boundary side. It's been, a lot of success on that boundary side to start off the game. You see right there, Poole is in line with Desjardins, but there's nothing there. Of course, Johari Gastings gets there, and it looks like this offense is coming off the field. Field goal coming up. All
right, it looks like they're going to take the points as the field goal unit is coming out. Don't forget, in the Dunsmore Cup, they faked a field goal from a similar position as Gayardez, the receiver who holds, got up and ran with the football, but they didn't get the first down. Well, they did in that game, actually, but they didn't put the ball in the end zone, had to eventually settle for a field goal. So a 15-yard attempt here for Forteza. The right hash marks. Gayardez will hold it. The ball is up and good. So the Rouge take a 6-0 early lead in this football game with 2 impressive drives, stalling and having to settle for field goals. Laurier back on offense for the 4th time this afternoon. They've yet to get a first down against this stout Laval defense.
Yeah, Marcus, that Laval front 7, it's Yohan Bianca, it's Thomas Gosselin, it's Justin Cloutier. They are bringing the pressure to Taylor Elgersma. They are making him uncomfortable. They're giving him no time to go through his reads. And of course, they prevented this Laurier offense from achieving at least 1 first down as we approach the end of the first quarter. Amazing defense from this Laval.
First down at the 35-yard line of Laurier. Time of possession favoring Laval. They're up 6-0 in this opening quarter of the Vanier Cup. Elgersma has been hit hard so far in this football game. He'll hand off to Tayshaun Jackson. Jackson has a hole off tackle, still on his feet. And the first down of the football game for the Golden Hawks. And a gain of 11 by Tayshaun Jackson.
The unique thing about Tayshaun Jackson, remember, he is an all-Canadian returner. So once you hand him the ball out of the backfield, he essentially becomes a returner. He finds holes. He's able to break tackles, and he's able to do it right there and give them their first down of the day.
Golden Hawks at their 46. First down with 4 receivers to the wide side. They'll stay on the ground. Jackson again. Look at him negotiate the interior of that tough Laval defense for a gain of 7. And now there's bad blood and words after the play. Lassard getting into the grill of Max Harris as the officials are there quickly to break it up.
Michael Bolts told us that Tayshaun Jackson has been at the key part of just changing the momentum for a lot of games this season. When they were down and felt like they were out and they needed a spark, Tayshaun Jackson really changed the momentum.
2nd and 2, Laurier. Again, 3 receivers wide, Jackson in the backfield. They'll stay on the ground. Tayshaun Jackson, it's going to be very close as he's brought down right near the first down marker. See where they mark it. It is indeed a first down. So this high-powered passing attack has gone back to the ground to get some first downs and some time of possession.
At this point, it's just about moving the ball on the ground, being able to build some momentum. Again, hand the ball to Tayshaun Jackson 3 times in a row. He's able to get the first down. Let's see if they can find some success through the air or stay on the ground.
First down, Laurier. Tanner Nelms now in the backfield, subbing for Jackson. Number 3 running back in the OUA this year. Play action, loading up. Elgersma pops, now throws it. A quack, it's complete. Ryan Hughes, the superstar of this postseason, has a gain of 9 on the play. Ryan Hughes, who 1 week ago had 3 touchdowns and 212 yards receiving in the UTEC Bowl.
And Jordan Lassard, number 7, the all-Canadian corner, was all over Ryan Hughes. On him like white on rice. Ryan Hughes bobbled the pass, eventually brought it back in. Great job by the offensive line. Gave Taylor Evans much time to go through his reads. And now they're able to move the ball.
2nd and 1 for the Golden Hawks. Nelms is stiffed by Biange. Biange swallows him, and there'll be a loss of a yard, and Elgersma gets his nose dirty trying to throw a block for his back. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 as Elgersma looks to the Laurier sideline, and the Golden Hawks sent out their punt team. So field position a factor here now as they try to pin the Rouge deep.
And for Laurier, to be honest, that was your first time being able to move the ball today. You got your first down, you got your first completion. Let's see if they can find some momentum on other drives.
Cochon is late to get on the field. The ball is angled out of bounds, and there'll be no return on the punt from Dawson Hodge. And they will mark this out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So a 6-0 early score after 1 quarter of football. Laurier beginning to move the football, but in arrears with Laval. Back at Richardson Stadium after 1 quarter of play, let's have a look at the first quarter statistics brought to you by Wilson, makers of the F2000, the official football of U Sports. Pretty one-sided in favor of Laval.
Mark, if you look, time of possession is really even down the middle. Both teams have around 7 minutes time of possession. The difference here, Laval is able to move the ball down the field while Laurier is struggling. That Laurier defense is doing their job, have limited this Laval defense to only 6 points, or Laval offense to only 6 points, but their offense needs to be able to put some points on the board in this quarter if they want to keep up with Arnaud Desjardins and that passing attack.
And almost half of that Laurier time of possession was on that last drive, their 5th offensive drive of the football game. So this is where the Golden Hawks want Laval's offense, deep in their own zone. First down at their own 18-yard line. Desjardins has been absolutely perfect. Here's a shovel pass to Olivier Cool. Cool, the artiste, makes a nice move, gets outside, and he's shoved out of touch by Jaden Griffiths, the Sam linebacker for the Golden Hawks, but not until a gain of 15 and a first down.
And this is how crafty and elusive Olivier Cool is. You're able to use him as, of course, a running back. Jet sweep out the backfield. Big play right here. You see the block right there by Arsenault, able to give him more yardage, pick up that first down before Griffiths gets him and forces him out of bounds.
First touch of the day for Olivier Cool, the leading receiver in the RSEQ. Desjardins is 12 for 12. Make it 13 for 13 as Guillaume Couchon moves upfield on that catch. He'll be close to a first down. Tackle on the play by Jesse Wilkins-Flaherty. Gain of 8.
Arnaud Desjardins, like you just said, he's playing a perfect game so far. He's taking care of the football. He's being patient with his receivers, letting routes unfold and finding them at the right time. He was able to do that right there with Couchon, who bounces out into the backfield, picks up the pass, couple yards.
Make it 2nd and 2. Laval pressure up the middle. Alex Duff is going nowhere. Wilkins Flaherty again making the tackle for this Laurier defense. It'll be a loss on the play. A loss of 1, 3rd and 3. And Laurier gets the Laval offense off the field.
Jesse, Wilkins Flaherty has been huge for this defense today. You see him get into the backfield right there and is able to take out Duff right immediately, prevent any gain, prevent any yardage, get them off the field, and get that ball back into the hands of Taylor Elgersma and your offense. You need that right now if you're Laurier.
Tayshaun Jackson is back to return. Griffiths heads onto the field quickly as Laurier had only 11 men on this punt return team. Flag on the play as Forteza gets the ball high. It's caught by Jackson. There's a flag on the play. This will be at least a 15-yard no-yard penalty against Laurier, but there is a flag back near the kicker. So a flag back at the original line of scrimmage and a flag on the return, which is clearly a 15-yard no yards against Laval, as Kevin Baird, the referee here this afternoon, sorts it out. So no yards, and it looks like a legal substitution was the other call. Both going against Laval. Kevin Baird, as I mentioned, was named the top official in the OUA this year and getting the assignment at this year's Vanier Cup, as he explains the options here and the calls. Justin Cloutier, the middle linebacker, who along with his brother Etienne Cloutier play for Laval. He's one of the captains on this football team. Their dad played in the first ever Vanier Cup victory for Laval back in 1999. Jacques, proud dad, watching two of his sons on this Rouge outfit. Now the officials taking some time here to sort it out. Laval's offense is coming back on the field. There's some confusion as they sort this out. And Michael Falls is 10 yards out from the sideline, the Laurier bench. And talking to the down judge, Daniel Dirksen. So Baird and the side judge, Jake Webb, finally got it sorted out.
Illegal substitution, Laurier, no yards, Laval. The difference is we're going back 5 yards, repeat third down.
Right, so it was 33 Griffiths who was late on the field. They called that against Laurier. And we do recall Couchon was late to get on the field for a punt return, but there was no call on that play. So the ball will move back 5 yards, and they'll repeat third down, make it 3rd and 8 for the Rouge. In this low-scoring Vanier Cup, with Michael Falls and his explosive offense kept in check so far by a Laval defense that has shown early pressure against the Heck Crichton winner, Taylor Elgersma. So Forteza, that big leg, his longest this year, 55. He'll need all of that as he stands at his own 20. Tayshaun Jackson is the lone returner for Laurier at his own 29. Forteza, spiraling kick, driving Jackson back. He can't get to the ball. And a big bounce for the Rouge back to the 6-yard line. Jackson swarmed, beats the first contact, but is driven back to his goal line. Well, flag on the play. Flag on the play, a 73-yard punt by Forteza. As the elusive Tayshaun Jackson, who's taken back 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year, was forced back to his 1-yard line.
Amazing coverage right there by Laval special teams unit. They're able to contain Jackson, let him go to the left, follow him, breaks one tackle.
Is that a face mask?
There. Might be a face mask. And they're able to take him down his 1-yard line. This is going to be a long drive for this Laurier offense.
Looked like a face mask on the play.
You see Jackson had to adjust his face mask during the play.
B.J. Pernier.
During the return, we had holding. Laurier, 10-yard penalty. Unnecessary roughness, face mask, Laval, up 5 yards, first down.
Doesn't help the Golden Hawks much, but a flurry of penalties in the first half of this football game when you consider Kevin Baird only called 3 in the entire Yates Cup. So the Golden Hawks, in the shadow of their own goalposts, will have the ball first down at their own 7-yard line. Elgersma has not been able to showcase his big arm so far in this football game, facing all kinds of pressure from the Rouge. They'll play it safe. Nelms slipping tackles, moving upfield on the ground on that first down carry. And he'll have 6 yards on the play.
Backed up into your own end zone. What you want to do is you want to run it out, create some space, create some cushion. They handed it off to Tanner Nelms. He follows Cooper Hamilton right there, finds a hole, and is able to pick up 6 yards.
2nd and 4. As Elgersma sends 4 receivers to the far side of the field. Nelms, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the ball on the handoff into the teeth of that Laval defense and stuffed. Christophe Saint-Hilaire makes the tackle from his linebacking position for Laval. And now Laurier, will they give up 2 or will they punt it away?
That's good. We'll check right here, but they have quads to the left, and you see right here Christophe Saint-Hilaire, number 3, comes off the edge, is able to find the hole and shut down Tanner Nelms for no gain.
Saint-Hilaire led Laval with 4.5 sacks this year, was their 2nd best man in terms of tackles with 30. That was big.
Only in his 2nd year.
And it will be Dawson Hodge conceding a safety here as field position favoring Laval. And so it's still a 1-score game as the Rouge go up by 8 early in the 2nd quarter of the 59th Vanier Cup from Kingston. Arnaud Desjardins, 13 for 13 so far in this football game. Simply perfect with 125 yards passing, and he's distributed the ball, Deschamps, to 6 different receivers.
Mark, I don't think Laurier's defense has seen an offense like this season. So many weapons, and Arnaud Desjardins really spreading the ball around, moving the ball around out the backfield into the flats. Really efficient day so far for Laurier and Laval.
1st and 10, Rouge at their own 35-yard line. Here comes pressure. Ball is away. It's complete to Olivier Cool. Yes, he's in bounds. And a gain of 6 as he crosses the 40-yard line. Olivier Cool, the leading receiver in the RSEQ. In the playoffs, he continued to light it up with a touchdown catch in the Dunsmore Cup. Another one in the Mitchell Bowl. He is elusive, and he's the next man up after Kevin Mittal left for the CFL and the Argos, catching a Grey Cup touchdown pass last weekend for Toronto. 2nd and 4. Desjardins will throw again. It's complete. Alex Duff, and he'll be short of the first down. Stopped by Paul Legale, and a great fill from the secondary for the 2nd-year man out of Edmonton. So 3rd and less than a yard as Desjardins comes out and the heavy team comes in, and here comes William Tremblay, number 32. He's a 2nd-year player out of Rimouski. He was a quarterback in CEGEP, but they use him as a wildcat quarterback in these short yardage situations. Tremblay pushing the ball ahead, and he'll have the first down. Look at the scrum after the play, and what a battle as Tremblay moves even further upfield. William Tremblay with 4 touchdowns in the RSEQ playoffs this year on 4 touches, then fumbled last week in the Mitchell Bowl in his only touch in that game, but he moves the sticks for Laval and a first down.
Mark, he's a gadget. He's a big body. He's a huge player for them. And, you know, him being along with Emerick Boutienne, they're tight ends that have worked with Anthony Auclair all season to add another dynamic part of this offense to give Arnaud Desjardins more weapons.
The 9th first down for Laval in this football game to 2 for Laurier. Play action. Desjardins in trouble. He'll get away from the pocket, being pursued by Griffiths, and he'll get out of bounds at the Laurier bench as Gregorczyk chases him to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him maybe a yard on the play as the Golden Hawks came after the flashy quarterback.
This Laurier secondary is doing an amazing job of locking down these Laval receivers. If you really think about it, aside from the big pass over the middle by Emerick Boutienne in the first quarter, no big gains have been allowed by this Laurier secondary deep into the second quarter.
You would have thought this would be a defensive battle in this Vanier Cup. 2nd and 9. Desjardins gets the ball away. It's complete to Gaillardes. He'll break the tackle and get a first down. Across the Laurier 50-yard line. Isaac Gaillardes, one of a handful of veterans who played in the Vanier Cup 2 years ago for Laval.
And you know what? This Laval passing attack, what they're realizing, deep routes are being taken away. Let's run hitches over the under. And you know what? If you're Laurier's defense, you'll allow that. You'll allow the passes under to take away the big passes over the middle and over the top to prevent the touchdowns. Of course, a first down, but this Laurier defense is doing a great job of letting this Laval offense earn these yards.
It's a gain of 13 by Gaillardes. Waugh in it, running back. He'll get the handoff, nowhere to go as he swallowed Gregorczyk and Jerry Theodore. Wrap him up. Theodore, that 23-year-old rookie, playing for only the 2nd time this year. He dressed last week in the UTEC Bowl for the first time, number 90, for Laurier after breaking his foot on the first day of training camp, coming back to the fold here at playoff time. So it's 2nd and 8, 2nd and long again for Desjardins and the Rouge with Waugh in the backfield. Olivier Cool coming to the boundary in motion. Desjardins across to Cool, or rather Couchon. Couchon with the catch and a first down inside the Laurier 30-yard line. Couchon coming back to this team in the playoffs last week in the Mitchell Bowl after missing a couple of games with an injury. It's a gain of 17.
Couchon stays patient right there, number 82 in the slot. Lines up behind Gaillardes, runs the in route, beats Cote over the middle. Arnaud Desjardins finds him, beats Johari Hastings, picks up yards, first down Laval.
29-yard line. Desjardins in trouble under pressure, and he's sacked. Mateo LaQuintana brings down the Laval quarterback. He had a pair of sacks in the Yates Cup and 2 more last week in the UTEC Bowl, and adds his 5th here in 3 weeks.
And the pressure from this Laurier front 7 throughout the first half has been very, very good so far in the second quarter. You're seeing LaQuintana gets in there. He gets a hand on Arnaud Desjardins. Desjardins tries to get away. The rest of the line comes through and prevents Desjardins from getting anywhere. Second down.
Loss of 6. 2nd and 16. The 8th play of this Laval drive. Desjardins outlets the ball to Waugh. Waugh avoids the first tackle and then is knocked down as Jesse Wilkins-Flaherty makes the tackle. Waugh is only 5'9", 177 pounds, and is no match for the interior of that Laurier defense. 3rd and 9, and there's an injured Golden Hawk on the play, and it looks like it is Wilkins-Flaherty. He was down on his knees there. Now he's back up, but he's in some difficulty here as Forteza will attempt this field goal from the 35. He's 2 for 2 so far in this Vanier Cup. Felipe Forteza. Gaillardes with the hold. The ball is up and good. So the Rouge extend their lead to 11-0 on the toe of their kicker, Felipe Forteza.
You're watching the 59th Vanier Cup on CBC. Well, since losing the UTEC Bowl to Laval in 2016, Laurier coach Michael Faulds said in order to close the gap, he wanted his teams training and practicing well after the season to to feel what it's like to play meaningful football in November. He basically did the math. Those teams that are making it deep in the playoffs every year, like the Lavals of the world, get 5 extra weeks of football, which if you map out over a university career is 2 years of football development. So they've closed the gap. They're here in November, but this is a meaningful game, and they find themselves trailing 11-0. Mark.
Yes, they find themselves one of the last 2 teams standing. Play action. Elgersma on a bubble screen. Raiden Thorne breaks the first tackle, and he'll have a gain of 7 yards on the play as they go to their veteran receiver who returns after missing 2 games with a back injury.
If you're Tyler Elgersma, what you want to do right now is you just want to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Quick screen pass by Raiden Thorne, breaks the tackle, is able to gain some yardage, 2nd down.
2nd and 3. Golden Hawks trying to get something going on offense with only 2 first downs so far in this first half. Play action, lots of motion. Ethan Jordan, their leading receiver, has the catch and a first down for the Golden Hawks. Ethan Jordan with an even 1,000 yards to lead the country this year in receiving.
And this is where establishing the run earlier on in the second quarter helps you set up the pass. You see the play action. Ethan Jordan on that jet sweep, big jet sweep, bounces out to the flats, gets the pass and able to move the chains.
Elgersma will hand off to Tayshaun Jackson on the draw. There's a gaping hole. Jackson still on his feet. Now he gets an open space. Green pastures ahead for Jackson as he crosses the 10-yard line and is finally down at the 5. Tayshaun Jackson and a gain of 51 yards. The biggest play offensively of this football game for the Golden Hawks.
The Golden Hawks needed that. Look at this. Taylor Elgersma, thick handoff, read option. Tayshaun Jackson takes the ball, finds daylight, breaks 1 tackle, and is able to bring it all the way down to the 2-yard line. This is the biggest play of the day. Has the Golden Hawks barking on Laval's goal line. Let's see if they can punch it in and put some points on the board.
Vincent DeLille, the starting safety for Laval, is down on the field and injured, but Tayshaun Jackson, the first-team All-Canadian returner, showed what he does when he gets into open space in that 51-yard scamper. And DeLille is a loss for this team. He was a member of the Vanier Cup champion Rouge 2 years ago in his 4th year from Quebec City. So, Laurier threatening here with 5:26 to go in the first half. 1st and goal from the Laval 5-yard line. Nelms in the backfield. Elgersma at the 10. He'll throw. Looking short side. Now he changes. Throws deep downfield, and it's out of touch. Looking for Jace Atkinson. Atkinson was his 3rd read on the play.
Yep, he read over to his boundary side first, took a look at Raiden Thorne, took a look at Ethan Jordan. They were locked off to the boundary side, saw Jackson Stebbings in the back of the end zone. You'll have a look right there. All Canadian combo right here, receivers. Thorne and Jordan to the boundary side, completely locked off. Saw Seb Stebbings in the back of the end zone, overthrew it, 2nd down.
So Laurier brings in some beef as Sebastian Parcelitas, Mr. Olympia. Their fullback is joined by Max Harris. So 2 big men join this front as they continue to attend to an injured Laval player. It's a big moment here for Michael Faulds and the Golden Hawks. And a chance to get back into this football game. Laurier trailed 5 times this year. The only unbeaten team in the country trailed 5 times and came back each time. They are built to withstand these setbacks. And that's William Quenville, who was banged up last week in the Mitchell Bowl in Regina and is helped off the field. The defensive end for Laurier. But check that for Laval. 2nd and goal from the Laval 5-yard line for the Golden Hawks. Elgersma. Shovel pass to Ryan Hughes. He's got all kinds of daylight. It's a foot race, and Hughes gets to the end zone. Touchdown. Mississauga has his 6th touchdown in the postseason.
Ryan Hughes has had an amazing playoff run for these Golden Hawks. Continues it in the biggest game of the season. Checks into the game. Right here, he checks into the game for Raiden Thorne. And you see him take this jet sweep from the boundary side. And there are blockers all across the field to make way for Hughes. And it's a foot race to the corner of the end zone. Gets in for 6.
Great block by Parcelidis, holding up Francis Bouchard, the linebacker, to allow Hughes to get around the corner. There's a flag after the extra point. It's good. But we'll sort that out. A 5-play drive covering 75 yards. And the first touchdown of the game goes to Laurier. Golden Hawks are back in this football game after that 5-yard toss from Elgersma to Hughes, and the first major of this game. There was a 15-yard penalty after the point after against Laurier. Will force them to kick from their 30. Tyler Potvin was flagged. We didn't get the ruling, but it was against Laurier, and so they will kick from their 30 with B.J. Pernier back to receive along with Nathan Lacasse. And it is Pernier at his 21-yard line. Pernier straight up the numbers. And he's hit by Jaden Griffiths. First downfield on special teams for Laurier. And stopped at his own 38-yard line. So Laval goes back on offense after the first scoring drive of the football game by the Golden Hawks. 3 of their 6 first downs accounted for by Tayshaun Jackson.
And Mark, Laval's offense has been able to move the ball down the field, but the one thing they haven't been able to do is reach the end zone yet today.
And Desjardins has not thrown an incomplete pass in this football game. 18 for 18. There's 19 to Matthew Waugh. Waugh gets a seam and scampers across the 45 for a gain of 7 on the play. It was Waugh who came into prominence in that second half of the Dunsmore Cup with 72 yards on the ground.
And Waugh was actually more useful last week in the Mitchell Bowl against Regina, having over 100 yards in all-purpose yards throughout the game, especially in the second half.
So 2nd and 4 as Theodore checks in at rush end for Laurier. 6 defensive backs on the field for the Golden Hawks. Here they come with pressure again. Desjardins finds an open receiver and a first down. And it's Arsenault, Edouard Arsenault, with words and a finger point to Grigorczyk, the middle linebacker of Laurier, as the bad blood continues to spill in this football game.
Laurier's defense is doing an amazing job. They're sending pressure up the middle, off the edges. Their DBs are locking off all routes, not giving Arnaud Desjardins time to go through his reads. And of course, he's bailing to those outside dumper routes.
Laurier unable to solve the accuracy of Desjardins, 20 for 20. Throwing again, it's complete to Olivier Cool in a seam on the post, down to the Laurier 40-yard line. A gain of 20 yards on the play.
And the seam worked out very well for Laval last week. It was one of the big plays that they scored on Regina with in the second quarter. On this play right here, Olivier Cool is able to bounce out, run that seam. Arnaud Desjardins finds him for the first down.
This will be the last play before the 3-minute warning here in the opening half. Desjardins with lots of time. It's away and complete. Couchon makes the catch and takes a big hit from Jahari Hastings. But another first down and a gain of 15 yards.
So now Laurier's defense is sitting back in the zone, and the big thing about a zone is there's always going to be holes over the middle. Laval's offense is finding those holes and moving the ball.
Going to break. 22 for 22. Desjardins driving at the 3-minute warning. Back at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario on this breezy November afternoon. A terrific crowd here, a capacity crowd for this classic Vanier Cup between the Rouge and Laval. The Golden Hawks have traveled a lot of fans down the 401 to get here for this football game, and Laval also known for their great support on the road. And in fact, the noise was a factor that Michael Fauld said he wanted to take care of with a lot of silent count work on offense, because Laval fans can be so loud. He learned that in past games, most recently in 2016 in the UTEC Bowl. So, 1st and 10, Laval at the Laurier 25. Trouble there for Desjardins, and there's his first incomplete pass in 23 throws as Jaden Griffiths comes off the edge at Sam linebacker to press the Laval quarterback.
Mark, you said it. Jaden Griffiths came off the edge, gave the pressure. Jaden Griffiths actually broke his thumb this season. His hand is like pretty clubbed up, but he's able to get a hand on the ball, tip that pass, and like you said, give Arnaud Desjardins his first incomplete pass of the game.
2nd and 10, Rouge. They've moved the ball, but they haven't put it in the end zone yet. Here's Desjardins. Down to the sideline, incomplete. Malik Cote breaking it up from his cornerback position. And so once again, the Rouge will stall. That ball was intended for Lacasse.
And they've been testing Malik Cote all day. That's the 10th time they've actually targeted him today. And he's able to get in there, stay on Lacasse, get his hand in there, break up the pass, and take this offense off the field. Big play by Malik Cote, and they're going to need more of that from him today if they want to win this football game.
Forteza is 3 for 3 in this first half. This from the 32, the right hash mark. His longest this year from 53. Forteza has it up. And good. So Forteza 4 for 4 and a safety, and it's a 7-point lead for the Rouge with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
And Mark, again, they get to the red zone and they struggle to find the end zone. Laurier's defense today has been bend but don't break. They've been able to give up big passes, they've given up big runs, but they haven't given up touchdowns, and that's what's most important. And that's why they are still within 1 score of this football game as we approach halftime.
Laurier has to take advantage of this opportunity. First down at their own 35. Remember, the Rouge won the coin toss. They'll get the ball to start the second half. As Tayshaun Jackson gets outside. And he's swarmed and fumbles the football. Laval recovers the football. Francis Bouchard recovers for the Rouge in a massive turnover here for the Golden Hawks.
Unbelievable play by the All-Canadian Francis Bouchard. Tayshaun Jackson bounces to the outside. They gave him the ball. No surprise. Francis Bouchard follows him, traces him, gets his hands on him, and is able to strip out that ball. Christophe Saint-Hilaire also got in there. Big turnover by this Laval defense to get the ball back in Arnaud Desjardins' hands, approaching halftime, seeing if they can put more points on the board and cushion this lead.
First turnover of the football game was against Michael Fauld's and the Golden Hawks. First down, Laval at the Laurier 42. The wind at their backs. Desjardins back to throw, checks it off, and it's knocked down, incomplete. Looked like one of the Laurier linemen got a piece of that. Second down and 10.
Good job by the secondary. Good job by the front seven. Applying pressure up front. Couchon running the crosser over the middle. There's space there, but the pressure got to Arnaud Desjardins.
Second and 10. Laval from the 42 of the Golden Hawks. Desjardins will take off. He's got room and will get out of bounds, but he'll be short of the first down. 3rd and 3. And here comes the field goal unit again for Laval.
You know it's second down. You know they need 10 yards, and you know they're trying to put 6 on the board. The linebackers were even keel, covering the middle of the field, taking away any passes. Rushed for, let Arnaud Desjardins run, and of course we're able to stop that, bring the field goal kicker back onto the field. Again, no touchdowns given up on this drive.
This attempt from the 42. Forteza is 4 for 4 in this football game. This will be his longest attempt of the day. He's been good from 53 this year. It's up and good. Forteza 5 for 5 in the field goal department. as he extends the Laval lead. It's a 10-point lead with 2:09 to go until halftime. You know, Forteza earned this job late in the season in a battle with his teammate Coquette, who missed a field goal late in the last game against Montreal, and Laval ended up losing that football game in overtime. And Forteza got the nod ever since, and he's been perfect here today. Elgersma loading up, throwing downfield. Ethan Jordan's got it at midfield, and he'll be down at the Laval 47. That's one thing we've seen from this Laurier offense. It's a quick strike offense that often responds to a score with a big play, a 28-yard gain. As they go in no huddle, Elgersma with Jackson in the backfield. He'll throw again, looking to the short side. It's complete to Jordan. He's left wide open. And this will be very close to another first down. The leading receiver in the country moves the yardsticks again. Laurier with a sense of urgency. 1:53 to go until halftime and moving the football. Here comes pressure. Elgersma gets it away to the flats and it's dropped. Ethan Jordan drops the football. Incomplete.
Mark, if there's anything you were able to learn, or we were able to learn from those last two plays, that is what is able to happen when the offensive line is able to give Taylor Elgersma time to go through his reads. There's been pressure all day, but on that short, momentous two-play drive right there, you were able to see Taylor Elgersma had time to go through his reads, had time to find Ethan Jordan, connect with his number one receiver, and move the ball.
2nd and 10. Laurier from the Laval 37.
Quads.
4 receivers to the field. That's where Elgersma looks. Now he comes down to the far corner. Jordan's open. He's got it. No, they're going to rule it incomplete. A late call. Jordan says he's got it. Looks at the officials. Now they'll conference.
What a play. Quads to the field side. Taylor Elgersma has time. The ball does get tipped. Ethan Jordan runs the corner. Vincent Delel does not even see the ball coming. And we'll see right here.
Oh, that's a catch.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Oh, did the ball touch the turf? And did he have possession? It's bobbling there. No, it's no catch. So close. And so that drive for the Golden Hawks will stall at the 37. 3rd down and 10, and Dawson Hodge now to attempt this field goal from the 44-yard line. His longest this year during the regular season from 40. His longest in the playoffs from 42. So this will be his longest attempt of the year. Hodge, a first-team All-Canadian just 2 years ago. Bit of an off-season last year. And this year he's been terrific. Good on 7 of 8 during the playoffs. This will be his longest attempt of the season. The ball is up, and it's wide right. Wide right, and Pernier takes it out of the end zone for Laval. Gets a block from Gosselin. Pernier still on his feet. Comes to the near sideline. He's got some daylight. Pernier tries to get to open field, and finally drawn down. Ojaleo with a big tackle after a 57-yard return by Pernier on that wide 44-yard field goal attempt by Dawson Hodge.
What a sequence of events. You think Laurier has momentum driving down the field. An incomplete pass forces them to go for a missed field goal, and suddenly now Laval, after a big return, is at the middle of the field with their RSCQ MVP about to take the ball with 1 minute and 21 seconds left in the quarter, in the half, trying to put more points on the board.
1:21 left in this first half. Desjardins hands off to Waugh. Waugh gets outside and is driven out of bounds by Malik Cote. He'll have a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Make it 2nd and 5, Laval.
And if you're Laurier's defense, the last thing you want to do on this drive is give up points. Remember, Laval's offense will get the ball coming out of the half. So you don't want them to score going to halftime and get the ball again coming out in the third quarter.
1:15 to go. Both teams have got 2 timeouts. As Desjardins will throw. Now he'll roll, he'll run. And takes a big hit as he goes down. He'll be close to the first down. But what a hit on the Laval quarterback. He took a shot right in the back. It'll be 3rd down and a good 2 at the 50. It's outside of Forteza's range. It would be a 57-yard attempt, and Forteza will come out to punt.
Successful 2-play stand by the defense. Don't allow the offense to move. Force them to go 2 and out. Get the ball back into your offense's hand with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in this half. And the clock is ticking.
Less than a minute to go until halftime. Forteza stands at his 45. Tyson Godin and Tayshaun Jackson to return. It's a shank punt. It bounces at the 25 to Jackson, who gets it on the first bounce and scoots out of bounds. And Laurier will have the ball at their own 33 as they go on offense with 45.1 seconds to go until halftime.
So, Mark, even though that last drive ended in a missed field goal, it was a pretty good drive. You got the ball to Ethan Jordan 2 times in a row. You had a chance on 3rd down to extend the play. Laurier had some momentum on that drive. For the first time, it seemed like the Laurier that we've been seeing all season.
Elgersma has been good on 8 of 13 attempts for 88 yards so far in this football game, well below his standards. He'll play action, ball's away. Jackson Stemmings makes the catch, and he'll have the first down for the Golden Hawks after a gain of 12 yards on the play. Stebbings, 2nd-year athlete out of Surrey, BC. No huddle offense with clock ticking. 35 seconds to go in regulation in the first half. Elgersma is swallowed as he tries to run up the middle. Thomas Gosselin makes the tackle. The freshman can bench press 225 pounds 36 times in a row. That's how strong that kid is.
I wish I could do that.
Laurier has called a timeout. The gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9.
This front 7 for Laval being able to shut down the run. Thomas Gosselin was a problem last week for Regina. Christian Katende and that rushing attack along with Yohan Miyange. Early on in this game, they've had some success. They've led up a couple of big runs. Famously, of course, to Tayshaun Jackson that we saw earlier in the quarter. But on that play right there, they were able to be disruptive, take away all options from Taylor Elgersma, get in his face, get physical. We haven't seen many front 7s do that this season with this Laurier offense. Make Taylor Elgersma uncomfortable. Force him to get the ball out of his hands earlier than he wants to. Force him to go through not all of his reads, maybe 2 of his reads. Laval's defense is doing that.
Elgersma has passed for more than 400 yards 3 times this year. Right now sitting with 88 in this opening half. 2nd and 9. If they get close enough for a field goal, that would make it a 1-score game to go to the half. With their well out of reach of Dawson Hodge. Stebbings again makes the catch, but they'll be short of the first down by about 3 yards on the play. Punt team coming out on the field for Laurier. Elgersma, look at him. He wants the ball.
He wants it.
He wants to go for it. He's such a competitor, such a battler. He's frustrated as he comes off the field. "25 seconds and the clock counting now. Dawson Hodge will have a good look at that play clock and take it right down. As Cochon stands back to return. Hodge with a beautiful spiral to the far sideline. No return on the play with less than a second. 0.9 seconds to go until halftime. Interesting first half of football with Laval controlling the ball but unable to finish. And that quick strike Laurier offense having the game's only major on that 5-yard shovel pass to Ryan Hughes.
Mark, if I had told you in the first half of this football game there would only be one touchdown scored, would you have believed me?
Unbelievable. No, it's unbelievable. These two high-powered offenses haven't been able to click on a gorgeous day for football. So the Rouge will take a knee, and that'll do it in the opening half of this 59th Vanier Cup. The Rouge with a 17-7 lead on the 5 field goals of their kicker, Forteza. And the Golden Hawks on that Ryan Hughes touchdown will go to the locker room down by 2 scores here in Kingston.
First half in the books for the 59th edition of the Vanier Cup. 17-7, Laval leads Laurier. Laurier, though, with the only touchdown courtesy of Ryan Hughes. Here's their head coach, Michael Falls, with Signa Butler.
Well, Coach, you held them to just field goals in that first half. That's got to be a positive for you.
Yeah, it was a bend but don't break on defense. The first quarter offensively, we didn't really get anything going. So we got one good drive, but we got to clean things up. We got to play 4 quarters.
But you guys have trailed 5 times during this season, and you've come back to win them all. This team has some resiliency, right?
Yeah, there's definitely no give up. Our sideline is still positive. We just need to execute at a higher level.
Best of luck in the second.
Thank you.
Well, heading into this game, we talked a lot about the quarterbacks, and rightfully so, but it's a kicker for Laval who steals the show in those first 2 quarters. For Teza, 5 for 5. We've got the panel coming up next. First half in the books for the 59th edition of the Vanier Cup. 17-7, Laval leads Laurier. Laurier, though, with the only touchdown courtesy of Ryan Hughes. Here's their head coach, Michael Falls, with Signa Butler.
Well, Coach, you held them to just field goals in that first half. That's got to be a positive for you.
Yeah, it was a bend but don't break on defense. The first quarter offensively, we didn't really get anything going. So we got one good drive, but we got to clean things up. We got to play 4 quarters.
But you guys have trailed 5 times during this season, and you've come back to win them all. This team has some resiliency, right?
Yeah, there's definitely no give up. Our sideline is still positive. We just need to execute at a higher level.
Best of luck in the second.
Thank you.
Well, heading into this game, we talked a lot about the quarterbacks, and rightfully so, but it's a kicker for Laval who steals the show in those first 2 quarters. For Teza, 5 for 5. We've got the panel coming up next. Welcome back to CBC Sports, the Vanier Cup here on the show. Halftime stats brought to you by Wilson, makers of the F2000, the official U Sports football national title on the line. 17-7 for Laval over Laurier. We welcome you back inside our CBC Sports studios. Andy Petrillo alongside Justin Dunk and Dwayne Ford. Let's begin with Laval because we knew that they were coming in with a very strong defense, and they aren't really giving Laurier much.
No, they're not, and it's been led by that group up front, that defensive line, but they've had a little bit of support as well. They've done a good job, I think, in the blitz game. They brought pressure early, which I think really rattled Laurier a bit. Terrific off the edges. We've been watching the tackles as well. Miange and Gosselin making their push there. You see the blitz early for the sack, and I think this probably threw Taylor Elgersma off his game a little bit in the early going, Justin.
Definitely. When you have people around your feet like that, it makes it difficult to move because you're worried about getting injured there. But also, when you take a shot like that early as a quarterback, it makes you a little tentative.
All right, well, here's the thing. When it comes to Laurier, the opposite side is their offense is pretty strong. Now, they do get the only touchdown in this game. A lot of the field goals are what Laval got, but they seem a little out of sync. Maybe to start, then kind of got back into it. A roller coaster ride, so to say.
Definitely, Andy. Laval is used to this. They've been here. They expect to win Vanier Cups, or it's a disappointing year. For Laurier, it's the first time being in this game since 2005 when the program last won it. Now, I understand you want to show that you're here to play, but perhaps this awoke a sleeping giant that you did not want to in pregame. Then Taylor Elgersma, yes, letting out his emotion, but I think that carried over a little bit too much to start this football game. You see Raiden Thorne dropping the ball off a Laval defender's head. That draws a 15-yard penalty. And then Elgersma, I think, has a little bit too much energy and overshoots Ethan Jordan, the 1,000-yard receiver, on this play. That could have changed the entire complexion of the game.
And that's the kind of play you've seen him make all season long. He's dropped those throws in there. I thought they did a good job maybe shifting from vertical to horizontal, attacking the edges in their passing game, which sets up one of their catalysts, Tayshaun Jackson. This is a guy who we label as something of the X factor for the Wilfird Laurier offense. He certainly provided a spark and seemed to get them back on track.
We told you in pregame, the best player on this offense touches it at the biggest moment for Laurier. Ryan Hughes, little flip pass into the end zone. Laurier's only touchdown in the first half.
We heard Michael Fold in the pregame show saying he doesn't want to rein in Elgersma's motion because it's been helping them win. But a lot of what you're pointing out, too, is that when it does become a detriment, then you maybe got to take a bit of a breather, right? Like, what are you saying to him halftime in the room?
Just like right here, this Ethan Jordan catch is ruled no catch. But Elgersma needs to move on. If I'm Michael Fultz, that's what I'm talking to him about in the locker room. Play's over. This is 2 plays after that no catch call. You have to move on. It's cliche, but play the next play, especially against Laval.
All right, so just as we thought that maybe Laurier could be turning things around a little bit, there was a turnover. That is what prompted Forteza to come back onto the field. He goes 5 for 5 when it comes to field goals. Just how much did that hurt them, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's big in terms of momentum when you look at it. Because as you said, Laurier was just getting back into the game, and you could see body language and everything. Their spirits lifted, but Tayshaun Jackson, who had been that catalyst, provided the spark minutes earlier, trying to do the same, right? Fighting for more yards. Sometimes you just got to protect the football. Laval defense swarming to the ball creates that turnover, leads to the field goal. And so after Laurier gets right back in the game, right? They're within 4 points. After what was not a good first half for them, they've got 7 points. Laval gets 6 right back. They had answered the touchdown with the field goal, and then this turnover leads to another field goal for Forteza before the end of the first half.
And that's a big deal because this Laurier offense can hit you quick. 7 points can happen in a split second for Laurier, but for Laval to take a 2-score lead gives them a nice advantage in the second half.
Michael Fall's saying they do need to step it up in that second half. We'll be looking at that because, funny, an offensive team, that's what they're strong at. Defensively, though, I guess if you do start to look at the positives, that's exactly what Signa Butler asked them, is they didn't allow any touchdowns against. Like, Laval's had to rely on the field goals and then getting a safety. But at the end of the day, Laval is the experienced team. As mentioned, they're trying to go for their second Vanier Cup in 3 years. So there's about 6 players on that team who have a ring. They know what it takes to win. But can Laurier turn it around? We'll hear from the booth when we return. The PWHL season starts here 1 week from today. The Boston Fleet and Toronto Scepters kick off the season on CBC. Haley Salvian and Soroya Tinker are back with me on the panel. Join us for complete coverage. Puck drop is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Right now, we're bringing you the Vanier Cup. It's Laval leading Laurier 17-7. Here are Mark Lee and Deshaun Stevens.
Well, the quarterback play in this opening half of the Vanier Cup has been in stark contrast to what we saw during the regular season. Let's begin with Arnaud Desjardins. He's been almost perfect, completing 22 of 25 passes and already 217 yards. But Deshaun, 4 times in the red zone, they've been unable to score a touchdown.
Yeah, and you know what? The offensive line is giving Desjardins time to sit in the pocket. Desjardins is moving the ball around, and he's dissecting that Laurier secondary. But this Laurier defense, they are bending but not breaking. Yes, like you said, allowing 0 touchdowns through 1 half.
Laurier quarterback Taylor Elgersma, by contrast, struggled early. He was rocked early with a hellacious hit. Finished the half 8 for 10 for a total of 10 of 15 and only 106 yards in that one shovel pass, 5 yards for a touchdown to Ryan Hughes.
And the truth is, you know, Laurier's offense has not seen a defense like this year. There is pressure getting to Taylor Elgersma. He is being hit early. That pocket is breaking down quick. We saw them able to pick up some momentum at the end of the half, but this Laurier offense is definitely struggling to move the ball. This is not what we're typically seeing from the #1 offense in the nation.
They're a quick strike offense. 26 touchdowns they scored this year in 5 plays or less. They'll have to find that in the second half as they're down by 2 scores at halftime.
All right, thank you, Mark Deshaun. We'll hear them call the second half. And yes, coming in with the best offense in the country, anything can happen in a final. That could also mean a turnaround in the second, or Laval's experience could shine through.
This is greatness. We always knew that we would make it. It took a whole lot of patience. Every day of the year, it all pays off. No days off. Now we shine bright, so bright. All right, never back down. Always had to fight. Tunnel vision, taking everything in sight. We can't say that we never knew it. We dreamed it and never pursued it. A whole different level to it. We can't stop. So we're at the top of the top. Give it all we got to the last drop. What you thought? This is great.
Glenn Constantin has been with this program since its inception in 1996. He moved from D coordinator to head coach in 2000, and starting in 03, he has won a championship ring for every finger and thumb. The legend grows each season. He's with Signa Butler.
Well, Coach, a very decent first half, but no majors. Boy, gotta like Forteza, though.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's a great kicker. He's very steady. The special teams are doing very well. We're playing good complementary football. We're moving the ball on offense. We're taking time off the clock. We got to finish our drives once in a while. And on defense, we got to keep on playing good and take away the explosive plays.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
All right, guys, what do we want to see in that second half? Maybe we'll just start with Laval. No touchdown yet with the lead.
Yeah, I think for Laval, obviously, it is great that Forteza has come out and gone 5 for 5. You want to see him go 5 for 5 on extra points, not on field goals. So that's the different look that they're looking for, is obviously to finish things up. But their defense has been absolutely terrific.
All right, how are you feeling about Laurier?
For Laurier, we need to see some of these chunk yardage plays. Michael Falds told us before the game that he's got to throw for over 300 yards for the Golden Hawks to win. He's at 106 in the first half. One play over 20 yards. And one of your keys was for Laval?
Yeah, to prevent those big plays, keep them to 3 or fewer of 20-plus yard completions. They had 7 last week. Basically, 7 completions accounted for over 270 yards for Laurier last week. They get it in big chunks when they're successful. They haven't had it in big chunks yet.
All right, so we know Michael Falls, I have to say, he's been a great motivator all week long. He's been saying things that even get me going a little bit here. He's been saying the right things, right? But when you are also going up against Laval, a team that's kind of been there, done that, what are you expecting even from an emotional standpoint in this second half?
There's a lot of hype, I think, going into this game for Laurier, and I think they felt like they were favorites, but they've been punched in the mouth. So I think they need to realize they need to reset, but get back to playing Golden Hawks football, fast, high-flying, now that they've settled in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much of it being acting like you've been there before. Laval has been, Laurier hasn't been. Well, now they've got a half of experience. They need to settle down and rely on that.
All right, let's see what this second half brings our way as we send it back to Kingston, Ontario with Mark Lee, Deshaun Stevens.
Andy, thank you very much. Laval will get the football to start this second half. Their quarterback, Arnaud Desjardins, started the game with 22 consecutive pass completions. His team, though, had 4 trips to the red zone, unable to score a touchdown, relying on the 5 field goals by Forteza, who has tied a Vanier Cup record with those 5 field goals, his longest so far in the football game from 42 yards out. But Desjardins, 22 of 25 already in this football game, and over 200 yards in passing.
Mark, he's been taking care of the ball, efficient through the air, making the right reads, making the right decisions. But again, that elephant in the room hasn't been able to reach the end zone with this offense. They're going to need to score touchdowns if they want to beat the Laurier Golden Hawks. Laurier's defense has been stout. They've been able to bend but don't break. And they've been able to deny this Laval offense throughout the first half. Second half on the way.
A ball control quarterback, and he was a picture of that perfection in the first half. Dawson Hodge will kick off for the Golden Hawks. BJ Bernier and Nathan Lacasse back to return for Laval. It's a short kick, moonshot, and it's dropped and out of bounds. The fullback, Francois Giguère Lacasse, couldn't hold on, and so the 25-yard line will be where Laval opens this second half.
See that they tried to catch them off guard with that short kick. Now wanted to kick it back to Perrier, who had a huge return in the first half at the 2-minute mark.
So the Golden Hawks facing some adversity. They trailed 5 times this season. Came back to win each time. The only unbeaten team left in U Sports. To the air they go. Laval. Couchon makes the catch, beats the first tackle, gets away from Jahari Hastings, and then Ethan Gregorczyk makes the tackle after a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Start things off with a bit of continuation of what you saw in the first half. Arnaud Desjardins finds his short routes. The long routes down the field are taken away. Finds Couchon, short yardage gain. Let's see what happens here on second down.
2nd and 5 for the Rouge at their own 30. They'll hand off. It's Waugh upfield, and he'll be stopped just shy of that first down. Jesse Wilkins-Flaherty making contact a yard from that first down marker. So it's 3rd down and less than a yard. Ball at the 34 of Laval. And Glenn Constantine will send his heavy team out onto the football field along with William Tremblay, their Wildcat quarterback. The 2nd-year man out of Rimouski. He's a big man at 6'2", 225. So they will go. 3rd down and less than a yard. Laval gambling, diving into the thick of that Laurier defense. Marcus Tenney, one of the strongest defenders, went high to try to prevent the first down, but it will be a Laval first down and barely as they get it across that 35-yard line.
Wow, what a stop right there. You saw a man go over the top, pull a Troy Polamalu. Who was that? Who pulled the Troy Polamalu? Tenney, 47, got over the top, was not able to stop the first down. Good try by Laurier defense. Again, bend but don't break.
So Tremblay stays in the football game at quarterback. He'll run to the wide side, head upfield. He'll have 6 or 7 and takes a hellacious hit and is stopped in his tracks. But there's another little wrinkle thrown into the offense of the Rouge. Tremblay bouncing off tackles.
And that's what makes this offense so multifaceted. You see right here, Tremblay is able to find some space, break some tackles. He's a big body. He's 6'4", almost 230 pounds. But again, so many options on this offense outside of Desjardins.
That was Ethan Bayfield who came across with that big finishing hit. Now, Desjardins, 2nd and 4, flags on the play. The ball intended for Couchon, but Malik Cote all over him, and this looks like it'll be pass interference.
Once again, testing Malik Cote. Like they've done so much throughout the first half, like they've done so much throughout this game.
That's a pass interference. Number 28 on Laurier. Spot foul. First down.
No question, Cote has been the most targeted defensive back in this Laurier secondary all season.
Yeah, all season. He leads the team in tackles. How many times do you see a corner lead the team in tackles?
So Laval will have a first down at their own 49-yard line and scrambling off the field. Laurier trying to get players in position. That was Hastings who scrambled off the field. They'll stay on the ground. Waugh with nowhere to go. Marcus Tenney and Ethan Gregorczyk making the stop on this Laurier defense, which has kept Laval's big offense out of the end zone so far in this Vanier Cup.
Big question we had coming into this game was how would that front seven fare against this very, very strong and tall offensive line. You see Matt Crusoe gets in there, finds the hole, and is able to take down Matthew Waugh.
2nd and 10. So Desjardins and Laval Rouge throwing deep downfield, looking for Menzies, incomplete in a big battle with Malik Cote down the sideline. So a big rebound, a redemption play, if you will, for Cote after he was called on that pass interference.
Malik Cote was out there on an island with Andrew Menzies. He takes his inside pocket, stays on his hip, looks back for the ball, gets his hand in there, forces them off the field.
So Laval will punt. Forteza standing at his 35. Deshaun Jackson back to return, along with Titan Godoon. Ball is away, nearly blocked. Griffiths got very close. A high spiral coming down to Godoon. He's got it at his 21. Circles back, turns around, surrounded, heads for the sideline, and is pressed out of bounds. A 40-yard punt by Forteza, and Etienne Belil was right there to force the returner out of bounds. Laurier will go on first down at their own 17. Back at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario, the Golden Hawks going on offense. This football team back in the Vanier Cup for the first time since 2005.
Mark, and it's been a rise that's been almost 4 years in the making. Started back in 2021 when this team was just trying to make the playoffs. All these players were in their first year. Q to 2022 and they're 5-3 in the semifinals against Western. 2023 they finally win a Yates Cup, go 7-1, and now 2024 they win a Yates Cup, win a bowl game, and they're in the national championship looking to finish the job.
Taylor Elgersma and the Hawks. First down at the 17, play action and incomplete. The pass intended for Ethan Jordan. It was underthrown. And so Elgersma, who struggled early but finished the half 8 for 10 for a total of 10 of 15 passing attempts and completions.
And they're trying to get the ball in Ethan Jordan's hands. You saw he had the big jet sweep off the edge right there, trying to get the ball in his hands, trying to force that pass. Of course, incomplete. Second down.
Second and 10 inside their 20. Laval loading up the box here. Here they come with pressure. Elgersma throwing a deep corner strike. Ethan Jordan's open. He's got it! What a catch! As he goes out of bounds at the Laval 48-yard line. What a play to dig out of bad field position.
Like I said, trying to get the ball in number 4's hands. He's out there at the inside slot. He runs a corner, 3-step corner, finds himself off the edge, finds himself by himself, and makes a hard catch near the sideline. Beats LA. First down, Laurier.
45-yard catch by Ethan Jordan. Elgersma across the middle, complete to Jordan again. Breaks 2 tackles, dancing his way to the 25-yard line. Elgersma on a roll here.
And Mark, I know a lot of the hype is around Ryan Hughes, but remember, Ethan Jordan is the nation's leading receiver. He is the best receiver on this team statistically. If they want to win this game, they're going to need to get the ball in his hands. Runs across her over the middle, beats 1 tackle. First down, Laurier once again.
Elgersma to Jordan, the first team All-Canadians connecting here to start this second half. They'll hand off to Keyshawn Jackson. Jackson is stuffed as he gets to the 20 and pushed back. Loic Brodeur, first man to make contact for the Rouge defense.
You throw the ball 3 times. What you do is you hand it off to your All-Canadian returner, who's a running back. Try to see if he can pick up some yards. Tayshawn Jackson gets eaten up by that front 7 that's been so stout at stopping the run all season against some of the nation's top running backs.
Only a gain of 2 by Jackson. Second and 8 at the 21 of the Rouge. Motion. Jordan. Stemmings going to the field. Here comes backside pressure. Look out! The ball's away and incomplete. But there are flags all over the field. And Elgersma now appealing to Kevin Baird, the referee, for a call. It's a procedure penalty. Well, wait a minute. Baird's going to go back and make sure.
You saw the pressure came off the edge, which is what you expect in a screen pass.
Jordan Lessard, who's had 3 interceptions in the last 5 games for Laval. He's a first-team All-Canadian as well.
Offside, Laval. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
Second down.
The first indication was procedure, but it's offside, Laval. So it'll be 2nd and 3 as the ball moves inside the Rouge red zone, spotted at the 16-yard line. So from a drive that looked like it was stopped to a drive that still has life for Laurier. Stemmings motions, comes back to the near side. Play action. Into the flats to Ethan Jordan. Jordan pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. He's been impossible to stop on this drive.
He's an All-Canadian for a reason. Ethan Jordan comes out the backfield, Little fake handoff there into the flats. Taylor Elgersma gets it to his all-Canadian receiver, picks up a couple yards to move the chains, and this Laurier offense is knocking on that Laval goal line.
Gain of 13 yards on that pass to Ethan Jordan. First and goal from the 3 of Laval. Heavy team in for Laurier. Nelms in the backfield. He'll motion out of the backfield. Passing down, there goes the ball. Complete, touchdown! Stemmings has it for Laurier. Elgersma with his second passing touchdown of this football game. Culminating that 93-yard drive with a 3-yard toss to Jay Stemmings.
They go empty backfield. Jackson Stemmings bounces in, bounces out, runs the flats, and Jordan Lessard is not able to get to him in time to put 7 on the board.
Point after now for Dawson Hodge. It's up and good. Elgersma 4 for 5 on that drive. And his second touchdown pass of this football game. And Michael Folds and the Golden Hawks are within 3.
Well, Laurier has bridged the gap. It's now 17-14 Laval at the 59th Vanier Cup on CBC. And Ethan Jordan was a massive part of that last drive by Laurier, becoming, of course, we talked about it earlier, the first receiver in program history to hit 1,000 yards in a single season. He had no idea he did it. He was actually injured in this October 19th game against Carleton. He had a game of about 225 yards, but he's on the sideline, and Coach Folds came up to him, tapped on his shoulder, and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I know we don't talk about individual awards, but you hit 1,000. I'm so proud of you." And Jordan said he's grateful to be in the record books, of course, but acknowledged all of those Hawks receiving greats before him, Curly Gittens Jr. and Stefan Potasic. Mark.
BJ Pernier returning the kickoff from Dawson Hodge and is nowhere to go as Laomi Ojutaleo, the special teams captain for Laurier, lays a big tackle on the Laval returner. And now the Rouge unable to get in the end zone in this football game with 5 field goals from Forteza. Have to be a little bit concerned seeing the firepower in that opening drive from Elgersma and the Golden Hawks.
Laurier's gotten comfortable. They're moving the ball. They believe they can move the ball now. And now it's time for Laval to respond. They need to find the end zone as well.
From top field position at their own 21 on first down. Play action. Desjardins rolling. He'll throw it to Boutin in the flats, and Boutin is thrown out of bounds for no gain by Jahari Hastings, the second-team All-Canadian from Toronto in his second year at Laurier.
Here's the truth. It looks like a big play, but if you're a Laurier defense, you'll give that up all day. You don't want to give up any plays over the middle. You don't want to give up any plays over the top. You want to take away everything and allow Desjardins to throw those under routes for small yardage gains.
Second down, 9 yards to go, Laval. Desjardins gets it away. It's complete to Waugh, but he'll be short. Once again, Jesse Wilkins Florisi in on the tackle. He has been all over the football field on defense for Laurier. It'll be 3rd and 6 in a punting situation.
Bend, but don't break. But on that drive, they didn't even bend. They didn't even bend. Of course, Arnaud Desjardins stands in the pockets, goes through his reads. He actually went through 3 reads before he found Mathieu Waugh. And of course, Wilkins Flores is able to get there along with Malik Cote, make a big play, and take this Laval offense off the field. This defense is having an amazing day so far against one of the hardest offenses that they've seen all season long.
Well, there's life on that Laurier bench as Forteza stands at his own 10. Tayshaun Jackson, the lone man to return for Laurier, inside his own 40. Forteza, a high end-over-end punt that bounces at the 46 right to Jackson. He reverses his field, and he'll have a return of about 4 yards on the play. A 36-yard punt, a 4-yard return, and the Golden Hawks go back on offense We know that they can score in bunches. Remember the Yates Cup when they scored on their opening 4 drives. Remember how they answered back to Western when they were only ahead by 7 and came up with 17 straight points in the second half.
Yeah, you know this is a team that gets hot quick. Just like that in the snap. They have these mini episodes of scoring. If you're Laval's defense and Glenn Constantine, you're trying to see if you could weather the storm, slow them down.
Elgersma with a heavy front. 4 receivers. Stepping up, throwing deep downfield for Raiden Thorne. It's incomplete. Too far for the 5th-year veteran receiver. But you can see what Laurier's doing now. They're reducing their receivers and adding more protection.
Yep, they're taking the deep shots, and they want to give Taylor Elgersma a chance to stand back there and go through his reads, go through his options. Raiden Thorne ran the skinny post. Jordan Lessard, the all-Canadian cornerback, was on him. And, of course, overthrown. Second down.
2nd and 10. Again, 4 receiver set.
Here comes the pressure.
Nelms in the backfield. 5-man rush. Ball's away. Jordan drops it. Oh, it was right in his hands. Perfectly thrown corner right in front of the Laurier bench. And the Golden Hawks will have to punt, and that's another costly drop by Ethan Jordan.
That was a huge missed opportunity. Ethan Jordan ran the corner right off the edge. He was right there, wide open, cracking the defense, dropped the ball. Laval's defense got lucky. They will get the ball back.
Guillaume Cochon to return. Beautiful spiral from Dawson Hodge. Cochon from his 17-yard line. He heads up the far sideline and will be pushed out of bounds by Luke Rayner, the rookie out of Carlisle. 49-yard punt by Hodge, who's having a terrific game, having to flip the field here.
So if you're Laval, mission accomplished. You've overcome the storm, the episodes of scoring that might have come. You have the ball back if you're Laval. Now what you have to do is you got to do something that you haven't done all game. You got to score a touchdown. You got to drive the ball down this field on this stern and stubborn defense and put some points on the board. You can tie it, but of course, what you want to do is you want to take the lead or maintain the lead.
Laval's another football team that doesn't panic. Remember last week in the Mitchell Bowl, they were held scoreless in the first and third quarters of that football game and then drove the field 85 yards, 11 plays in the final 3 minutes to win. So we know that they're a team that has composure. Still lots of time left in this football game, but a team that has been unable to get to the end zone yet against Laurier. The handoff is to Matthew Waugh. Waugh with a seam, and he'll have a first down and a gain of 12. Waugh, who showed his colors. He was a little miffed at the awards banquet the other night when he got up and walked out on Taylor Elgersma when he was giving his victory speech in the Heck Crichton Award.
Because they thought Arnaud Desjardins should have won the Heck Crichton, right?
He did. A lot of tension, some bad blood between these teams. It's Waugh again looking for a hole. Makes big contact. Again, it's Wilkins Flaherty, who has a big tackle there at the 50-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 for Laval. As this young man, Matthew Waugh, 2nd-year player in business management out of Beauceville, Quebec, has become the featured back in the playoffs. He has 92 yards from scrimmage so far in this football game. Screen pass to Waugh. Waugh flops on the football. The ball's on the ground, and Wilkins Flaherty has it for Laurier. Wilkins Flaherty is having the game of his life, and he's got the turnover for the Golden Hawks.
Amazing play that by Laurier defense. Of course, Arnaud Desjardins gives the screen pass. And of course, Matthew Waugh picks it up. Wilkins Flaherty's right there. You see the strip. Wilkins Flaherty's right there, able to pick it up. Wow, what an amazing series of plays by this Laurier defense. Extremely disciplined.
1st and 10, Laurier across midfield at the Laval 53. 6 receivers set. The ball's away, complete by Ryan Hughes. He's wrapped up by Bouchard. Lessard in there to make the tackle, and a loss of 2 on the play. So Laurier substituting now as Nelms comes in. Stebbings out. Raiden Thorne is out as well. And they bring in Sebastian Parsalidis for protection. 2nd and 11 for Elgersma and the Golden Hawks. Elgersma firing downfield, incomplete. Jace Atkinson couldn't hold on. Vincent DeLille is trying to say he picked it up, but it's an incomplete pass. As you watch that secondary bail out at the last minute, they were up close and then dropped off.
Yeah, and they knew Taylor Elgersma was going to have time. They're protecting heavy, giving him a chance to stand in the pocket, go through his reads, finds Jace Atkinson. Jace Atkinson had a chance.
4 defenders near that football, and a shank punt from Dawson Hodge, bouncing end over end. Couchot touches the football and has to fall on it. In a close call there as he nearly turned it over. Couchot, the hair-raising moment for the Rouge or just outside their 20-yard line. Rouge or go back on offense, up by 3 when we come back. Low-scoring football game here in Kingston as then Constantine speaks with his defensive coordinator Mark Fortier. Constantine with all the experience. Michael Falls, though, with the momentum here in the second half.
And yeah, Mark, if you look really and truly, it's almost like you have the greatest coach in U Sports history, Glenn Constantine, really going up against the next greatest head coach in U Sports, Michael Falls.
First down, Laval at their 22. Matthew Waugh with the handoff, a nice hole as he gets upfield, and Legali makes the tackle for Laurier. Paul Legali, the second-year player out of Edmonton, enrolled in psychology at Laurier. Waugh, despite his small stature, is managing to get through the thickness of that interior line of Laurier.
And that Laurier secondary is doing an amazing job shut down these receivers. Olivier Cool has not been a factor in this game since the first quarter.
2nd and 2, and William Tremblay, the Wildcat quarterback, is back into the game for Laval, wearing number 32. Tremblay in the shotgun. He'll wait, follow 76, and he's got an escort to a first down. Big block by Samuel Quevillon as he pulls from the left guard position and goes off tackle right for the first down with William Tremblay behind him.
Driving the ball for this Laval offense is becoming harder as the minutes go by. This Laurier defense has momentum. That front 7 has momentum, right? And so if they want that first down, turn to William Tremblay, pick up a couple yards, extend the drive.
He's the Swiss Army knife with 4 playoff touchdowns for Laval. First down at their own 36-yard line. Handoff is to Waugh again, and Waugh is finding more and more room as he goes off tackle left for a gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards as Ethan Gregorczyk makes the tackle at middle linebacker for Laurier.
Now you're seeing this Laval offense and Arnaud Desjardins turn to Waugh, turn to the ground, turn to the run game to move the ball. They realize the secondary stern. They realize they're shutting down all options. Let's move the ball on the ground. Fight for every inch.
Stay on the ground, eat up the clock, keep Laurier's offense off the field. It's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw. Desjardins across the middle. Wide open. Olivier Cool. Cool breaks one tackle and is wrestled down at the 44 of the Golden Hawks. Cote making the tackle for Laurier. But there's Olivier Cool, the leading receiver in the RSAQ, making a big appearance here in the second half.
The linebackers bailed on that play. They sent the pressure, and it left the entire middle of the field wide open. Olivier Cool is by himself, one-on-one with Johari Hastings, and Olivier Cool, an all-Canadian receiver, is going to win that battle every time.
Finds ways to get lost out there against defenses. First down. Here comes pressure now. Desjardins to the far side. Arsenault makes the catch, and he's tied up by Ethan Bayfield, the third-year man out of Toronto, who will limit that gain to 6 yards on the play. So again, Desjardins and this offense continuing to pick away and control the clock.
And give a couple of different looks as well. That's the first time today, or second time today, that Ethan Bayfield has been targeted. Arsenault only has 1 reception in the game. They've been picking on Malik Cote for the majority of the game. So they're going to some different looks to try to move this ball and keep this drive alive.
Arsenault nearly broke his neck in the East-West game back in May. Came back for the final 2 games of the season. Desjardins under pressure. He'll throw down the middle. It's incomplete. Guillaume Cajon can't hold on as Harnour Dhaliwal at safety helps break it up.
The pocket broke down. Arnaud Desjardins had to scramble, try to find the open man. Guillaume Couchon was right there. Arnaud Dhaliwal, the Ottawa GG's transfer, the veteran who got the start today for the first time this season in the biggest game of the year, comes down, makes the play. Third down to try and force this offense off the field.
Well, the field goal unit comes out. Will they punt? No, they're going to punt. So Forteza is well outside his range this year. Will stand just across midfield. Godoun and Jackson are back in their end zone to return. Forteza with that big leg needs one here. Letting the play clock tick down. Forteza angles a beautiful spiral to the far sideline. It hits the goal line, bounces into the end zone. There's a flag on the play. This will be no yards against Laval. But a coffin corner punt from Felipe Forteza. And a 5-yard, no yards coming here against Laval.
Trying to pin this Laval or this Laurier offense back deep, make them work on this next drive.
Did the ball get into the end zone? If the no yards is in the end zone, that has a big bearing on where they place the football.
Absolutely.
Whether it's at like the 5 or 6 or well out to the 20, 25. Kevin Baird, referee, with the call.
We have no yards, 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's a 15-yard penalty instead of 5. Looked like the ball bounced.
Took one bounce. Goal line. Did not reach the end zone.
So they're moving the ball to the 16 and charging a 15-yard, no-yard penalty against Laval. Nonetheless, tough field position for Taylor Elgersma. And what could be the final play of the third quarter? Shovel pass. Ethan Jordan carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, and he's got nowhere to go. He's hammered. Garant Dumambila, who had that hellacious sack in the first quarter against Elgersma, makes the tackle.
And that's been a jet sweep look that the Laurier offense has given Laval's defense all day. Ethan Jordan, that's actually his third jet sweep of the game. They ate that up. You see Christophe St. Hilaire is right there. Dumambila makes the tackle.
It's a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 from the Laurier 15. Ethan Jordan motions to the boundary. Back to pass. Elgersma, crossing route, incomplete. Intended for Jace Atkinson. And so now the Golden Hawks will have to punt. And that's the last play of the third quarter. What a tight football game. Low scoring. Nobody saw that coming. Laval up by a field goal. We come back. Dawson Hodge stands at his own goal line as we present the third quarter stats. Brought to you by Wilson, makers of the F2000, the official football of U Sports.
And as you can see right here, again, a huge third quarter where Laval has made a difference. His time of possession, holding onto that ball for 28 minutes compared to 16, trying to run that clock and maintain control of the game.
Laval had the football for more than 10 minutes in that third quarter. And that's a key statistic as they continue to keep this potent, powerful, explosive Laurier offense off the field. Now, Dawson Hodge at his 1 with Guillaume Couchon at center field. Will Hodge give up the safety here? Yes, he will. He'll take the knee for the second safety given up by Laurier in this football game to make it a 19-14 game and a 5.1 score lead by Laval. Good call in terms of field position.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to, Laval's going to get the ball back, and they've had issues driving down the field this afternoon, especially in the third quarter. This defense is playing really great. The front seven is applying a lot of pressure. The secondary is taking away all the deep routes. The truth of the matter is, if you're Laurier, you're still in this football game. And if Laval wants to win this football game, they're going to have to take a deep shot and find the end zone. If you're Laurier, you can present that, you still have a chance.
Laval goes back on offense after dominating time of possession in the third quarter. Handoff is to Matthew Waugh. Waugh scampering his way very close to a first down. Matthew Waugh negotiating the jaws of that Laurier defense and moving the yardsticks.
And it reminds me of 2 years ago in the Vanier Cup. During their Vanier Cup run, Kalenge Muganda was the running back that burst onto the scene and served as life for this Laval offense. And now it's Matthew Waugh 2 years later.
Laval in a 5-receiver set with Waugh in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Trouble, and down goes Desjardins. Jerry Theodore, in only his second game as a Golden Hawk, has the sack. The 23-year-old rookie out of Ottawa who bounced around the NCAA and came to Laurier this year.
Jerry Theodore comes off the edge, 6'4", 230 pounds, beats his man, doesn't fall for the fake, takes down Arnaud Desjardins. That's a huge play by someone that hasn't played a football game before last week since 2019.
It's a loss of 7 on the sack by Theodore. 2nd and 16, 17. Desjardins outlets the ball to Waugh. Waugh with nowhere to go, cuts upfield and pays a price as Jahari Hastings took him down shy of the 50.
Laval's defense, Laurier's offense did their job. Able to help the pocket break down, force Desjardins to get uncomfortable, scramble, find Matthew Waugh to bail himself out. But of course, the linebacking corps and Jahari Hastings are right there to shut that down, force the offense off the field, and get the ball back into the hands of your Heck Crichton Award-winning quarterback with 13 minutes left in this fourth quarter and a whole lot of football left to be played.
Suddenly, Desjardins is finding it difficult to find his receivers in this football game. Forteza to punt. Godoun and Jackson back to return for Laurier. High towering punt from Forteza. It's Jackson at his own 29. Surrounded. There is a flag on the play. This will be another no yards penalty coming against Laval, as Jackson is downed at the 37-yard line.
No yards. Laval, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Back-to-back 15-yard no yards penalties against the Rouge special teams. And this will give Laurier the football 1st and 10 at their 45-yard line. Elgersma, who's passed for more than 400 yards 3 times this season, has thrown a total of 34 touchdown passes during the regular season and playoffs, and 2 here today. Elgersma, play action, rolling, throws it across the middle. Ojatalayo has his first catch of the game and a big first down. The 3rd-year player out of Shelburne, Ontario, who was scouted as not necessarily the best player in his high school, but the player with the most headroom, the player with the most ability to improve. And a no-huddle offense here for Laurier. At the 47 of Laval, Elgersma hands off to Jackson. Jackson up the gut. And he'll have about 5 on that carry.
That play by Leomi Ojatalayo over the middle before this run was just so key in flipping the field. And now if you're Laurier, you're 20 yards away from being in field goal range, really and truly. But of course, you want to reach the end zone and put some more points on the board.
Ojatalayo, typical of a lot of kids recruited by Michael Falls, kids who maybe were under the radar for other coaches, but have been turned into superstars here at Laurier. Elgersma, play action, pressure, gets the ball away. Ethan Jordan makes the catch, and a first down at the 33 of the Rouge. Elgersma getting that ball away quickly.
Taylor Elgersma's first read on that play was Ethan Jordan. He ran the hitch route over the middle. There was contact on the catch, but Ethan Jordan, the all-Canadian receiver, is able to haul it down and move the chains.
First down. Laurier at the Laval 32. Elgersma sets the table. Play action, rolling to the wide side. He'll outlet the ball to Ethan Jordan. Jordan going wide with a straight arm, which is hand into the face of Emile Barthélemy. And have a gain of about 6 yards on the play.
This is hero ball by Ethan Jordan. You're getting a view of why Ethan Jordan is the nation's leading receiver. You're getting a view of why he is the first 1,000-yard receiver in Laurier history and the first 1,000-yard receiver in the OUA or in U Sports since 2018. Hard to stop.
It's 2nd and 3, Laurier. Threatening now at the 25 of Laval. 6 receivers set for Elgersma. Across the middle to Nelms. And he makes the catch and holds on to the football. But he'll be shy of the first down. And Francis Bouchard, the Will linebacker, is injured for Laval.
The protection for Taylor Elgersma has gotten significantly better throughout this entire game.
Well, Bouchard goes off the field.
Taylor Elgersma had all day in the pocket, finds Nelms under the edge right there.
3rd and a yard to go. 3rd and 1. And Laurier brings in their heavy set. Elgersma up under center. Listen to the crowd. Deafening here at Richardson. Elgersma will go off tackle right and have the first down. Big first down. Trailing by 5 in a 1-score football game.
Offensive line did an amazing job parsing this off the edge. Taylor Elgersma finds the hole, and he's not afraid of the contact. He's not afraid to put his head down and fight for more yards. Does it right there, picks up the first down. Like you said, 5-point game, keeping this drive alive, threatening the end zone.
First down, Golden Hawks at the Laval 20-yard line. Tayshaun Jackson in the backfield. Stebbings motioning to the far side along with Jordan. Elgersma on a broken play was looking to hand off and is stuffed for no gain at the line of scrimmage. A miscommunication in the backfield.
Absolutely broken play.
Yoan Miyange wrapping up the quarterback.
Absolutely broken play right there. You saw Elgersma look to hand off the ball. No one there. Takes it himself. Yoan Miyange eats him up. That's a huge break for this Laval defense.
Makes it 2nd and 9. Laurier behind by 5. 3 receivers wide side, heavy front. Only 3 receivers on this play. More pressure. The ball is fumbled. Max Harris falls on it for Laurier. Even with that heavy protection and only a 3-receiver set, Laval got through.
And it's Xavier Thibodeau, linebacker off the edge, and he's able to get in there, get to Elgersma. Mark, we saw Laval working on strip sack, drills in the beginning of the game, and this is the 2nd fumble that they've been able to force.
Thibodeau with a big forced fumble. And Harris with a timely recovery. So this will be a 34-yard field goal right down the middle of the field for Dawson Hodge. His longest this year, 42 in the playoffs, so well within his range. Stebbings to hold. Hodge has it up. And good. So the Golden Hawks cut the lead to 2. With 8:26 to go in the 4th quarter. A low-scoring football game, and it's anybody's game at this point.
A nail-biting game in the 59th Vanier Cup at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. While the Laval Rouge take their playoff hair seriously, just take a look up and down their roster. Nearly everyone has dyed their hair either red or gold or both. Quarterback Anton Hayes, the resident barber, and he even shaved into some of their haircuts the initials FTF, which stands for Force Travail, fidélité, the team's motto, which translates to strength, work, and loyalty. Is it a good omen? Well, they did the exact same thing ahead of their Vanier Cup win in 2022.
Matthew Waugh with a first down carry to move the yardsticks and a gain of 12 yards on the play for a Laval offense that has just 2 points on a safety in this second half. This vaunted offense that has yet to score a touchdown in the Vanier Cup.
And if you're the Laval offense, what you want to do is control the clock for these next 8 minutes. Slow drive, burn the clock, hand it off to Matthew Waugh. Let him break tackles, find first downs.
Waugh with over 130 yards from scrimmage. He'll get the ball again. Waugh tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Matt Caruso making the tackle for the Golden Hawks to limit that gain to 4. As Waugh continues to be the biggest offensive threat for Laval in this football game.
It's all clock management. Let's see if that front seven can stop Waugh, force Arnaud to get the ball through the air to maintain possession.
They'll give Waugh 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Here comes the blitz from Laurier. Shovel pass. Couchon, what a call against the blitz as he gets outside, and then he's flattened at 50-yard line. And he's not getting up. Guillaume Cochon goes down, and officials have to separate the teams after the play. Dhaliwal coming in to make a vicious hit from the safety position.
Wow. What a gutsy play on second down, giving it to Guillaume Cruchon. He takes it up the middle and takes a huge lick off that jet sweep. Hole. And Arnaud Dhaliwal, collision.
It's an awkward collision the way Cochon turned to meet the impact.
He's already going down.
Guillaume Cochon, who had 703 yards this year, all-purpose for Glenn Constantin, and the Rouge, is injured again, coming back to the lineup in the playoffs after being hurt late in the season, and we'll take a break as the medical staff from Laval takes a look at him. Back at Richardson Stadium, where Guillaume Cochon continues to receive medical attention after that massive hit from Dhaliwal of the Golden Hawks. Big loss indeed if he can't come back. On the Laval sideline, Kevin Mattel, the Grey Cup champion from the Argos and former Heck Crichton winner and star of this Laval football program from 2 years ago.
Yep, had a touchdown in the Grey Cup last weekend to help Argos win the Grey Cup, and now he's back to hopefully see his alma mater win a Vanier Cup.
1st and 10, Laval at the Laurier 50-yard line. Waugh is stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and it's Wilkins Flaherty again making the tackle.
If you're the Laurier defense at this point in the game, on first down, you are expecting the run. You are going to send the blitz, send the pressure, shut down Waugh at the line, and hopefully force Arnaud Desjardins to throw the ball through the air on second down.
It's a gain of only 1. 2nd and 9. Here comes pressure from Laurier. The ball's away and incomplete. Intended for Boutin. It was too short. And Desjardins did not see Gaillardez wide open on the corner.
And there you go. When you get a stop on first down at the line of scrimmage, you force Arnaud Desjardins to pass the ball through the air. And now it's on your DBs to take away all the options. Arnaud Desjardins throws a little bit of a duck there. They get away with that one. And now you're going to get the ball back in your Heck Crichton Award winner's hands with 6 minutes to go.
It was Menzies who was open on that deep corner that Desjardins did not catch, as Forteza stands at his 41-yard line. Godun Jackson, the 2-man return team back for Laurier. Jackson to the field here. This is a bit of a change-up and nearly blocked as Forteza gets it away. Godun at his own 7-yard line, straight up the numbers, and felled at about the 25-yard line. So a 15-yard return from Titan Godun. Ethan Radner with a great block on the play as Elmerza goes back to work when Laurier goes on offense when we come back. 6 minutes to go in the football game. A 2-point lead by the Rouge, who have had to depend on the 5 field goals of Forteza, a record-tying 5 field goals in the Vanier Cup. 2 touchdown passes from Elgersma to Hughes and to Stemmings. Elgersma has been good on 20 of 30 attempts for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he starts this drive right in front of the Laval cheering section at his own 25. Listen to that sound. Elgersma steps up, gets the ball away. It's complete to Ethan Jordan. He's got some room. And he's dropped, fumbles the football. With the officials say he's down at the 45 and a gain of 20 on that pass and run.
The pocket started to break down. Taylor Elgersma saw Ethan Jordan on the crosser over the middle. What you want to do is you want to get the ball in your best receiver's hands. Does that over the middle. Ethan Jordan is able to break 1 tackle, pick up more yards. First down, Laurier.
Ethan Jordan, 10 receptions for 169 yards in this football game. He motions to the near side. Elgersma steps up in the pocket, fires at midfield. Intended for Raiden Thorne, incomplete. As Garand Dumambila breaks it up, the linebacker in coverage for Laval.
Dumambila was right there, and he was actually caught up in that Ethan Jordan, Raiden Thorne cluster over the middle. And Taylor Elgersma threw the ball. Dumambila is able to get his eyes around at the right time. We have an injured player on the field.
Thomas Gosselin is the injured Rougeor, the big defensive tackle from Trois-Rivières, favoring his left leg. The big man is 6'3", 325, business administration student. Is part of that powerhouse interior of the Laval defense.
Only 20 years old, yet such a huge part of that front 7.
Michael Faulds and his quarterback, Taylor Elgersma. Faulds saying the other day, we were both blessed with strong arms, but we both have a linebacker's mentality. And that's why Faulds lets Elgersma play with that edge, with that chip on his shoulder, because that's when he's at his best. And right now, Faulds and his quarterback face a 2nd and 10 situation at their own 45-yard line. The Quebec fans with their horns blaring. Elgersma, 5-receiver set. In trouble, fumbles the football. It's recovered by Garand Dumont. Elgersma says his arm was going forward, but no. Kevin Baird says it's Laval football and a massive turnover.
Wow, what a rush by Laval's front 7. They get to Elgersma. The pocket breaks down. You see off the edge, 21 comes in, beats Tanner Nelms. And it's Charon that's able to get his hand on the ball. And that's a Laval turnover. And now Arnaud Desjardins and this Rouge offense have the ball with 4 minutes left in this football game.
First down, Laval at the Laurier 42. 4:47 and counting to go in the 4th quarter. Desjardins hands off to Waugh. And Insatem will make the tackle for Laurier after a gain of 5 by Mathieu Waugh.
And for Laval, as exciting as it is to get that fumble, it's back to clock management. You want to take control of the game, slow the pace down, let the clock run, keep the ball on the ground, and protect the ball in these final minutes to try to close out this game and seal a national championship.
Laval brings Menzies in a 5-receiver set. Jaguar Lacasse, the fullback, goes out, low snap. Desjardins rolls from pressure, throws downfield, wide open. Olivier Cool at the 20, and first out of bounds. Down to the 12-yard line. Cool with a big play for Laval.
It hasn't been his day. Olivier Cool has not been a factor in this game since the first quarter. But on that play, Olivier Cool coming out of the slot, runs a corner, is able to beat his man, find himself wide open, and Arnaud Desjardins able to get it in there for the first down. Big game by this Laval offense, and now they're going for the shot to extend their lead.
Here comes William Tremblay in at Wildcat as they take Desjardins out on first down at the Laurier 12. Flag is down. Play is whistled dead. Illegal substitution looks like it's the call. They had 13 men in the huddle.
Too many men in the huddle, Phillips.
Yep, 13 men.
No, you had 15.
So they'll mark that ball back 5 yards, and we'll call it 1st and 15 from the 17-yard line. So Tremblay stays in at Wildcat quarterback, and they leave Desjardins on the sidelines. A heavy set up front, just 2 receivers and a running back. And Tremblay goes to his right, gets a block, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Malik Cote, the boundary cornerback, makes contact to stuff that play for Laval.
Malik Cote is extremely stepped up today on a day where he's been targeted so many times through the run and through the pass. He's really stepped up, been able to make key tackles, make key plays through the air, and help this Laurier defense stay alive.
The Rouge are time and time again have stalled in the red zone. They've been unable to finish their drives, settling for 5 field goals here this afternoon. Here they are in the red zone, 2nd down and 13 to go. The ball on the 15 of Laurier. Desjardins back at quarterback. 3-man rush, throws to the wide side. For Waugh, it's complete, but Cote again is there to make a swift tackle and limit the gain to just 3 yards. We hit the 3-minute warning as Laurier stops Laval again, and the Rouge send out their field goal team. The Vanier Cup awaits its winner with 2:52 to go in regulation time. The Rouge are up by just 2 points, and they will attempt their 6th field goal of this football game. The ball spotted placement at the 18-yard line. Rouge have monopolized time of possession in this football game. They have been able to move the football, but have not been able to finish. But for 2 big drives by Laurier, their explosive offense has been curtailed.
And Laurier's defense has just been amazing all day, stopping one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation.
This is for the Vanier Cup record, a 6th field goal. Philippe Forteza from the 18-yard line. Isaac Gallardez to hold. It's up and good. Philippe Forteza with a Vanier Cup record 6th field goal. He's done it all for Laval here today and reestablishes a 5-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go. He is the Nike peak performer here in the Vanier Cup in Kingston.
If you're the Laurier Golden Hawks and Michael Foles was to tell you that you had 2 minutes and 31 seconds down by a touchdown with a national championship on the line, you probably want that situation. Ball in your hand, you want that situation. 2 minutes, 31 seconds. The Laurier Golden Hawks have plenty of time left in this football game, but they need to find the end zone to stay alive in this game.
And of course, in the final 3 minutes, after a field goal, Laurier will have to return this kick. They cannot take the ball at the 35. And so they send Ethan Jordan and Tayshaun Jackson back to return, standing inside their own 10-yard line. 2:31 to go. A 1-score football game. Laval up 22-17. We mentioned earlier, 5 times this year, Laurier has come back, but they've never been in this situation. Late in the game, and their season on the line.
It's a first.
So Forteza, absolutely perfect here this afternoon with those 6 field goals for a Vanier Cup record. Will kick it off from his 45. Deep, forcing Jordan back to his own 3-yard line. Ethan Jordan turns, has a lane, there's a flag on the play, and a great return to the 30-yard line. And a pile of bodies and some pushing and shoving after the whistle. There's a flag at the 15-yard line. Is this coming back? Forteza has been sparkling here today.
And Mark, you got to remember, in the Mitchell Bowl, he missed a pivotal field goal that could have gave Laval.
Hit the goal, hit the upright.
But today he's when they needed him the most.
4 for 8 during the regular season, 5 in the playoffs, and 6 here today. What an arc. There's Kevin Baird.
Return, holding Laurier. Also unnecessary 40 on the Laval. Point of foul, 5 yards.
That blood pump in here in the late going an unnecessary against Laval, and the holding call against will get +5 on the differential leads and start. She got their 20-yard line first. Laval fans thunderous on the Elms. Great run as he crosses the 20th gain of 6. As Laurier tries out of tough field position.
Hand the ball off back on first down. Let him get his average 6.2. Bring you half to a first down. Time 2 minutes 19 seconds. The rush. Take your time. There's a lot of play.
Algers needs to drive the 91 yards to get to the end zone. He needs a touchdown. Second and play action. Trouble! And he's surrounded. Socked. Gosselin back in the game. Off. And a loss of 5.
What a play defense on that play. So Elgers tried them. He had Ethan Jordan coming across the flats. Gosselin didn't fall for it. Found Taylor Elgersma, took him down for the sack, and takes this Laurier offense off the field, giving the ball back to your offense with 1:58 left in the fourth quarter.
What do you think of that call? I mean, it's 3rd and 9. They are deep, but they're going to punt the ball away and hope to get it back. Dawson with a great Dawson Hodge. Nadon with the return. Remember, Cauchon is injured. So Ben Nadon, the second-year law student, will return that about 5 yards in the play and give the Rouge great field position at their own 54 with 1:50 to go.
And it was a gutsy call play to actually go for the punt inside your own 10. But I see them trusting their defense. Their defense has been amazing all day. They can't give up a field goal, though, with this time in the game. Let's see if they can be able to stop this offense. 1:50 left.
Desjardins in at quarterback, completed first 22 passes in a row. But a sluggish second half. He'll throw to the flats. It's complete and a huge first down for Potvin. Potvin heads upfield after a gain of 12. And they move the sticks.
Potvin's first catch of the day, and there was some amazing blocking on that same side, but Olivier Cool to create the hole for Potvin to pick up more yardage and gain the first down.
Potvin had only 35 yards receiving in the regular season. It shows you the depth and the players they can go to. Players like Potvin, who stays in the game at slot back to the field side. First down. Here comes the blitz. The handoff to Waugh. Waugh goes nowhere. Gregorczyk and Caruso flush him, and it'll be a loss of a yard on the play. 1:21 to go as Laurier calls a timeout.
First down, and you're going to anticipate the run, so what you're going to do is you're going to send the house. Again, try to stop them at the line of scrimmage, which they did. Loss of yardage, and now you hope that Arnaud Desjardins goes to the air on second down, and you hope that your secondary is able to take away all options and force a third down, which would lead to probably a punt if you're able to successfully do that.
So the Rouge are right on the edge of Forteza's field goal range. at this point. Laurier has one timeout left. Trying to get the ball back and hope for a miracle. Elgersma has been rattled here today. He's been pressured. They have fumbled the ball 3 times and turned it over twice. The Golden Hawks have. Rouge have been a picture of consistency. Ball control. 2nd and 10 now at the 44 of Laurier. A huge down. Desjardins rolls out of the pocket downfield. It's complete. Edouard Arsenault. First down. The Vanier Cup champion from 2 years ago nearly broke his neck in the East-West game, and neurologists wouldn't clear him to play until the second last week of the season because he had tingling in his arms and his hands, and he's come back to the fold with a big first down.
Mark, that might have been it right there. Arnaud Desjardins able to stay in the pocket, breaks down a bit of pressure coming off the edge, and he sees Arsenault in the hole in that zone, and Arsenault gets down immediately to secure the first down and protect the ball.
Final minute of play. Pressure coming. Hand off to Waugh. Waugh off tackle. And he'll get the ball to the 25 as Malik Cote makes the tackle after a gain of 7. And Laurier can't stop the Rouge as they roll now and use their final timeout. Laurier does in desperation. They need a big turnover. They need something miraculous. But the Rouge right now are a force.
If you're the Laurier Golden Hawks, you need help from above. Laval has full control of this game. They have full control of the clock. It's 2nd down and just a little bit to go. A first down could end this football game. Mark, you're right. They need a turnover.
The 2nd and 3 at the Laurier 25-yard line. 48.9 seconds to go on the clock. As Desjardins controls the clock, controls the time of possession. Time slipping away on Laurier. It's Waugh up the middle. He'll be close to that first down. They're going to mark him short by a yard. So it's 3rd and 1. And Glenn Constantin now with Michael Faulds helpless at this point to do anything about it. Will Constantin risk a field goal, a block, and a possible return? Injured Laval player is their big left guard, Samuel Quevillon, the 4th-year digital production student from Montreal. Offensive coordinator for the Rouge is Justin Etier. He and Glenn Constantin have fashioned a terrific game plan here today. Even though they haven't been able to finish their drives, they've controlled the football and they've kept it away from Laurier and that powerful offense. Laval has controlled time of possession for over 36 minutes of this Vanier Cup. So Forteza is on the field to attempt a 31-yard field goal. And Tayshaun Jackson is the lone man back as Laurier needs a block to stay alive. Down by 5. This will still be a 1-score game if Forteza is good. From the 31 to add to his record here in the Vanier Cup. It's out, down, kicked, and wide right. Here's Jackson out of the end zone. 15 yards deep, gets outside. Jackson scampers and dives and is down just across the 10-yard line with 13.5 seconds to go. They'll put the ball at the 20 because he brought it out of the end zone. No timeouts left for Laurier.
Mark, it seems like the Laurier Golden Hawks are down to their last at-bat. 13.5 seconds left. Het Crichton winner on the field. 80 yards to the end zone. They need a touchdown.
Laval in the prevent, they've dropped 9 players back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Elgersma with time not on his side. Outlets it to Raiden Thorne, and he's hammered at the 30-yard line, very close to a first down. Let's see if they move the sticks here. Yes, it is a first down for Elgersma and the Golden Hawks. 7.8 seconds to go. Now Laval dropping deep. 5 men, 20 yards downfield. Elgersma facing a 3-man rush. He's going to be sacked. There's time for one last play. Nathan Charon, the rookie from Montmorency, with the sack for the Rouge.
And that might be the sack that puts this game away. Still 0.4 seconds left on the clock. Nathan Charon's able to come through on that blitz off the edge and get to the quarterback, get to Taylor Elgersma.
Faint hope for Laurier. This is the final play of the game.
Here we go.
Barring a penalty. Zeros on the clock. They're 80 yards from the end zone. A completion to Ethan Jordan. He throws it back this way. Loose ball to Raiden Thorne. Laterals it back. It's fumbled. Laval picks up the football, and that's the game. The Rouge win a record 12th Vanier Cup here in Kingston without scoring a touchdown. Glenn Constantine with his 12th Vanier Cup, the most decorated coach in U Sports history. And for Taylor Elgersma, his first loss of the season as the unbeaten Laurier Golden Hawks go down to defeat 22-17 to the Laval Rouge. Elgersma, the Warrior, the Het Crichton winner, the back-to-back MVP in the OUA, shot down here today with 2 touchdown passes, but the pressure got to the quarterback here today.
Laval's defense had one of their greatest performances of the season. The tall task of going up against the #1 offense in the country, the most explosive offense in the country, limited them today to just a touchdown, to just 17 points on the board to get the job done. Weren't able to score a touchdown on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, able to get the job done and bring home another national championship.
The Rouge fighting off the caravan to get through Quebec, then going west and surviving that Cinderella team, the Regina Rams, beating them by a field goal, and coming here, starting the game with a perfect quarterback. Desjardins 22 for 22, but unable to finish their drives. And it was Forteza with a Vanier Cup record 7 field goals that provided their scoring, along with 2 safeties given up by the Golden Hawks. Laurier, the football Goliath once again, and on top of the U Sports football world as we go to the field, and here's Signa.
Arnaud, I think we're on here, so we're going to say this. You know, I interviewed you in 2022. You were just a fresh-faced quarterback winning your first championship. Now you're a leader winning your second. Does it feel any better this time around?
Yes, it does, honestly. With the underwhelming year we had last year, it feels so good to be back on top, and I'm just so proud of the guys.
How about your kicker today? A little bit shaky during the season, but he has been rock solid, and today setting a record for Vanier Cup field goals.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, he was solid for us on the back end of the season. He's an amazing player, an amazing person, and I couldn't be happier for a guy on this team, man. What a man.
Enjoy the celebrations.
Thanks a lot.
What a story. Arnaud Desjardins, Vanier Cup winner in 2022. An off-season last year. His coach, Glenn Constantine, said he had to earn the starting quarterback job this year. He said, "Are you serious? is yet you're going to eat some humble pie. And what a year he's had. 1 interception the entire season, and he wins his second Vanier Cup in 3 years. Andy?
Mark, what a great game for the 59th edition of the Vanier Cup. It was close, 19-17 at one point, but Laval pulls away. We already heard Mark say it. Their record 12th title. They already came here leading with 11 titles, and Laurier was looking for the first since 2005. They will have to wait. Andy Petrillo alongside Justin Dunk and Dwayne Ford. What about, we just heard Desjardins talk to Signa Butler there. He did win 2 years ago, but he had to fight for this position this year.
He did, literally, in their exhibition game against Bishops. He threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter. And Glenn Constantin pulled him aside and said, hey, man, you got to earn this. This is not going to be given to you.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that really stands out to me about this in terms of the performance of Arnaud Desjardins is the fact that all the talk all week was about Taylor Elgersma. From guys like us, admittedly, and obviously both up for the Hec Crichton. Elgersma wins it. You look at their numbers for the season, they're remarkably similar, right? Both in the top 3 in so many different categories in passing yards, touchdowns, completion percentage, quarterback rating. They were both great. The difference was, and it kind of showed today when you think about it, not directly, but Desjardins only threw that 1 interception through the regular season that you heard Mark talk about. Elgersma threw 9, right? Desjardins all year was so consistent at doing a good job taking care of the football, and that's exactly what he did today. And turnovers played a role in the outcome of this football game.
Yeah, no interceptions, no fumbles for him.
Yeah.
And he was somebody that, to your point, was kind of a little under the radar just because of Elgersma and everything that we were saying about him. And rightfully so, Taylor Elgersma deserved the spotlight. But near the end here, I think it was, the final 4 minutes to go, he was sacked 3 times. And then one in particular that kind of really was the dagger here, Justin, was this one right here where there is the turnover, because you don't want to see Forteza on the field, which ultimately is what we ended up seeing because of this.
You don't want to see it, but I think this ball actually slipped out of Elgersma's hands. Might have been touched there as well, but these are sacks you just can't take at crunch time. The ball needs to be gone.
Yeah, and the pass protection was an issue for Laurier throughout this game. We think about how the first quarter started. We think about how the fourth quarter ended. The Laval defensive line won when they needed to win. And I know we talked in the pregame about the big guys in the middle of that, the defensive tackles, Gosselin and Mionge. I thought the guys coming off the edge as well did a terrific job in this ball game. They talked a little bit about Nathan Charon at the end of the game, and Laurier Brodeur as well, I thought was very good, very effective coming off the edge.
First time since 2004, the Vanier Cup was won by a team that did not score a touchdown. That team, by the way, was Laval. They did that against Saskatchewan. Here they do it again today, and a lot of that is Felipe Forteza, who comes on, goes 6 for 7 near the end. That was intentional, so I'm still going to say it was 6 for 6 on the day because it really mattered. And this, too, is another player. Signa mentioned it, struggled a little bit during the regular season, but it was like, he became a completely different player come playoff time.
And he used to be a linebacker.
Oh, geez.
This guy now is a full-time kicker and had to compete for his job as well. Glenn Constantin, the head coach for Laval, said he has just as strong a leg as Boris Beatty, who's in the CFL now and can absolutely bang the ball. But for him to come through in the clutch for Laval was earned.
Yeah, and this is a young guy getting better and better as the season goes on. As you mentioned, the struggles earlier in the year, but in the biggest game of the year, here he is. We'll say near perfect. Andy says perfect. Regardless, a terrific game.
He was fantastic. He was the hero in this one, and he's standing by with our Signa Butler.
Well, the celebrations are definitely still ongoing. Felipe Forteza, just the man of the hour, the man of this match. You were just money today through the uprights.
I guess. I think it's all the trust that the boys gave me during all the season. I had some tough moments, and they just trusted me, and it helped me to trust myself. So I did it, and that's it. I think it's a great time.
I saw you out here warming up, and you were the last player to leave the field after warm-up, and it paid off today.
That's part of my routine, I guess. So it's nothing special for me. It's just hardworking, and that's my quote, my thing. Yeah.
Hard work pays off. Enjoy the celebrations with your teammates.
Thanks a lot. Have a great night.
All right, well, here are the end of game stats brought to you by Wilson, makers of the F2000, the official U Sports football. Anything in particular stand out to you when you look at these game stats?
It's passing yards for me. Michael Fald said it. If Taylor Elgersma goes over 300 yards, he felt Laurier would win the football game. Well, he checks in at 246. Some of those did not happen because of sacks. There were some drops and just being out of rhythm to start the game.
Yeah, and adding on to that, I would say the things for me are the turnovers and the time of possession. Turnovers, obviously, because Laval wins that part of the game. Turnovers are taking opportunities away from the Laurier offense, which is one of the big things that Laval wanted to do. The other thing taking opportunities away from the Laurier offense was the time of possession. Time of possession isn't always going to win you games, right? Particularly when you're playing against a team that's good at the explosive plays like Laval is. But you combine the time of possession, taking care of the ball the way Laval did, with taking the ball away the way their defense did, and it's proves to be a winning formula.
We use the word experience a lot, but when you look at a game like this, how much did it matter for Laval? And in particular, to have a coach like Glenn Constantin, when they won their first title, he was the D coordinator, but now under him as head coach, that's 11 titles. He has 12 rings. Not to mention the players. Arnaud Desjardins, we just spoke about him being the quarterback who won the Vanier Cup 2 years ago as well. How much does that experience matter in what you saw play out today?
It matters a lot. I asked Glenn Constantin going into this game point blank. There's a lot of hype about Laurier. How do you feel about that going into the football game? He said, we respect everyone, but we fear no one. And he pointed to the games that Laval plays every year against Montreal. Packed stadiums, whether it's in Montreal or at Laval, with 20+ thousand people there, that his team is used to these types of atmospheres.
Yeah, and I would say as well that the level of, when you talk about the Montreal games in particular, there's a level of adversity that goes along with those games. You're not always ahead. There are sometimes some close battles late in games that they're battle tested in that way. And then you combine that with the playoff experiences, particularly Vanier Cup experiences that Laval has had in past years that Wilfird Laurier hasn't. And early in this game, it seemed like it took Laurier a little bit of time just to settle down and play their game, whereas Laval was not rattled, was not fazed by anything they had seen up to that point.
Yeah, Laurier really trying to find the offense here, which is what they were known for. But as you pointed out in the pregame show, Dwayne, Laval all about that defense. And one player in particular you highlighted was Thomas Gosselin of Laval. Here he is with Signa Butler.
Thomas, a big defensive play for you to really stop Laurier there near the end of the game. What did you see on that play?
Well, our D-line has been very good this year. And this game, I think we made a big change on the game. And that was a great play by 51. Right?
The other thing I wanted to ask you, obviously it's your first year. You're RCQ All-Star in your first year. But can anything top being a Vanier Cup champion in your first year?
No, that's the goal of everybody. And to do it in my first year, that's just amazing. Better than every All-Star team, at least.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Go Laval.
Celebrations happening for Laval. We're about a minute away from the ceremony and the trophy presentation, but just quickly when it comes to Laurier, they were undefeated up until the championship game. That has to be so crushing.
It definitely is. There were points this season where Laurier trailed in football games, but to have your first loss come in the Vanier Cup, it's hard to envision it happening.
Yeah, and I really feel for Coach Michael Falds, who is a guy who saw on this exact field at Queens, saw his playing career end there in a Yates Cup loss against Queens, that I sense that there would have been a nice feeling of redemption there for him. But Laval and Glenn Constantin, very deserving champions.
Very deserving, and we're about to get to some trophy presentations here, as well as the award. Signa Butler, Justine Saint-Martin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Signa Butler from CBC Sports, and I'm here with my colleague from TVA Sports, Justine Saint-Martin. And we are your MCs for the 2024 Vanier Cup post-game celebrations.
Bonne fin d'après-midi tout le monde. Justine Saint-Martin de TVA Sports. Je suis en compagnie de Signa Butler de CBC. Nous serons les hôtes pour les célébrations d'après-match de cette 59e finale de la Coupe Vanier.
If we can have André Darvaux, the Executive Vice President from the Université de Laval. Oh, you're already on stage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On accueille M. André Darvaux, vice-recteur exécutif à l'Université Laval, pour remettre le prix Bruce Coulter, qui cette année sera remis aux joueurs offensifs par excellence de la Coupe Vanier 2024.
Our first award is the Bruce Coulter Award, the Offensive Player Award, Championship Player of the Game.
C'est tellement mérité. Le numéro 12, Arnaud Desjardins. Arnaud, viens nous rejoindre.
Our next award, the U Sports MVP, the Ted Morris Award. Ben, stand by to hand that out.
Maintenant, le prix Ted Morris remis aux joueurs par excellence du match Nike pour cette Coupe Vanier 2024. Avec un nouveau record à la Coupe Vanier, Philippe Forteza.
Well, those are the individual awards, but we know you're here for that big team award. So next up, please welcome to the stage from U Sports, Pierre Arsenault, CEO, Matthew Davies, Chief Sport Officer, to present the Vanier Cup and the U Sport Championship banner.
Donc, c'était les deux prix individuels, mais Forteza a bien dit que celui qui l'intéresse, c'est celui du centre. On accueille Pierre Arsenault, chef de la direction U-Sport, ainsi que Matthew Davies, le chef des sports chez U-Sport, pour la remise de la Coupe Vanier et de la bannière à l'équipe championne.
So can we have the captains from the Laval Rouge et Or come to the stage, please?
On invite les capitaines de l'équipe championne, le Rouge et Or de l'Université Laval, à monter sur le podium pour recevoir le trophée et la bannière de champion. Donc, les champions de la Coupe Vanier 2024, le Rouge et Or de l'Université Laval.
Impressive what the Laval program has been able to do as they are hoisting the trophy here now as the 2024 59th edition of the Vanier Cup champions. But even when you just look at Quebec, Dwayne, I mean, last year was Montreal, year before that, Laval. This is just a province that seems to be dominating in youth sports in football.
Yeah, and I think when you look at those two programs in particular, the thing that stands out to me is that they've changed the landscape of Canadian university football. They've raised the bar, and it's fitting, this Laval team, right? 12 Vanier Cup wins. they've never gone more than 3 consecutive years without winning the Vanier Cup. That level of consistency is remarkable.
It's unbelievable. And you couple that with the fact that Laval had to go through the defending champs and Jonathan Senecal, who was a Heck Crichton winner a year ago, just to get this opportunity.
That is pretty impressive what they've been able to do. And I mean, again, you look at Laurier, it's great for them to be back in the Vanier Cup final, first time since 2005. It ends in disappointment for them, but a great experience. Elgersma, we've been talking about him, getting eyeballs on him from outside as well of the youth sports division. And congratulations to Laval Rouge or being crowned the Vanier Cup champions. That is Justin Dunk, Dwayne Ford joining us here on CBC Sports for our coverage of the national title. Can you believe Laval wins it all without a touchdown? But their defense gets it done, and no surprise that Forteza Special Teams named MVP with